It's the last vPub before the summer break. I feel a wee bit silly calling it the end of season finale or anything like that. So one of the patrons come up with a really cool idea. They suggested that we refer to this as last orders. I like that idea. I like it a lot. Anyway, it's the usual end of season kind of party, community gathering, getting people on, having a bit of fun and challenging our senses with a wee bit of a blind challenge too. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see you all in a second. Hello, whiskey folk. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday night. Welcome to another Thursday night and the last Thursday night before I go off and take a selfish summer break. I'm really looking forward to it, and I feel like I really need it this year. Not just because of how busy everything has been recently, because it has been super busy, but it's been fun busy. It's no complaints. I'm looking forward to it because I haven't been outside of the country since 2019. I'm sure there's a lot of folk in the same boat as me, and it's going to be nice to take a wee summer break to somewhere warm. So that's the plan. It will mean that I need to try, and I know you're going to have a laugh about this, I need to try and keep the vPub a wee bit neat tonight because we're getting up super early in the morning to go and catch a flight. So that's the plan, at least. Best laid plans of mice and men and all of that. It does mean that last orders is I'm going to attempt to call last orders somewhere around 1:45 with a view to being off air by midnight UK time. Let's see how we got on with that, because we do have a lot of folk in. Can I just say at the head of tonight that I'm a wee bit sad because there are a couple of folk here that should have been here, but they're not here. And that's down to me just not being able to get the package to them. I sent out all the packages at the same times, and most of them have arrived. But Jim Ingram over Northern Ireland is unfortunately having to sit this one out because these samples haven't arrived. But unbelievably, Rob Halford from Dramface, one of the guys, one of the teams, one of the great guys that's helped me build Dramface over the last 6, 7, 8 months, he was really excited to join his first vPub live and get involved in this blind challenge tonight as well, as was Jim Ingram, but their samples haven't arrived. They're not watching the blind. They want to do it potentially together or something, I don't know, after the event. But they're going to come in and join us after the blind's done and dusted, and they'll hang around for whatever else we're going to get up to. Maybe a wee game of team is it a Speyside and a quiz at the end. Anyway, enough of me banging on. Let's jump in to the lounge and welcome some of you beautiful whiskey folk and dedicated barflies. Knocking on for 200 of you in. Fantastic in the first couple of minutes. I'm always appreciative. I'm very, very grateful for the time you make to come out and hang out with us every Thursday night. I will miss you over summer. Just going to say a wee quiet happy birthday to Nicholas in Sweden, Barfly Nicholas over in Sweden. He's quiet, he sits in the background a wee bit, but I happen to know it's his birthday, and I want to raise this glass and say, Nicholas, I appreciate you watching, buddy. Happy birthday. Cheers. James DeJulio is in. Good to see you, James. Need to know your whereabouts every week when you are on Thursday vacation. I know. I seem to, because of the Isla trip and a trip just a few weeks before that as well, I seem to I've gone years without missing hardly any vPubs at all, apart from the summer break, obviously. But I seem to be recently a bit spotty. That's not normal, but it's because everything's opening up again, James, isn't it? And it's just the way it's running. North Coast Drama is here. Good to see you, buddy. Saying good evening, Roy. Good evening to you as well. Fantastic. Barter Horse is in. Super to see you, Barter. I hope you're doing well. Zach Chastain is here. Good to see you, Zach. And Captain Bamus is saying, cheers, Barfly. Sadly, can't stay for the whole thing. I'll pop in again later if I can. Have a great summer, everyone. Roy, I'm sure you're aware you'll be missed during the interval. Captain, I'll miss you too, my friend, but I'll be back here late August and we can start things afresh all over again. Yuri is in, Simply About Whiskey. He's saying, hello, Roy. Evening, everyone. Evening to you, Yuri. I hope you're doing well, my friend. And Dave Swift is saying, kia ora. Good to be in live. Kia ora. Is that a Hawaiian greeting, Dave? I know you've sent me a wee message, and you do say kia ora from time to time. Good to have you. I hope you're well. Jimmy Legg is here. Of course he is. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, Jimmy. Alistair Gray, saying good evening, Barflies. Good evening, Aquaviti and the magnificent Barflies. Good to see you, Alistair. I hope you're doing well. Sitting up in Speyside. Orange Rule is here. Good to see you, Rule. Gary Cobb, Ebhead, Rolf over in Norway. Fantastic, guys. Good to see you both. Graham Fraser. Saw Graham Fraser just a few days ago. We got to hang out, sitting down, chatting to Glenn Duncan, of course. Good to see you and here, Graham. I hope you're well. Carlos San Diego saying, good evening, Roy. Nothing selfish about a break with the family. Enjoy. Thank you, Carlos. Whiskey with Molly saying, looking forward to tonight's show. Good to see you, Ben. Always a pleasure to welcome you in. And Helen is here, and I think she's here from a wee break herself, but she's tuning in with Andy from the Lake District. Good to have you, as always, Helen. And Tim, Donnerpass Whiskey, is saying, cheers, Roy. Have a great time in Spain. Thank you very much. And Greg in Paris. Good to see you, Greg. Greg's Whiskey Guide is saying, hi, Roy, and everyone. Doc McCallan Fine and Rare is here. Good to see you, Doc. I hope you're keeping well, buddy. I'm sure you are. And Carl Van Wallingham. Fantastic, Carl. Good to see you. Falsgraf is here. Fantastic, Falsgraf. A very good evening to you. He's saying, enjoy tonight and enjoy your holidays. Thank you so much. I'm picking up the orange flashes. So if anybody's trying to get my attention, just type Aquaviti or at Aquaviti and I should pick it up. The chat that I'm interacting with is the lounge inside YouTube. So if you're tuning in from Facebook, I will pick up your comments, but it'll be after the event. Thank you so much. Yongo is celebrating being a member of the Barflies for 18 months. Thank you, Yong, for you and your fellow Barflies supporting the channel by clicking that join button down below and keeping the vPub ad-free. It's very much appreciated, my friend. Slantia, to you and all the Barflies, thank you. Patreon is how I'm funded. That's how I'm supported. The Barflies keep the vPubs, never needing any ads added. Dave Cummins is here. It's good to see you, Dave. I hope you're keeping well. That's our 50-year-old virgin. And by virgin, I mean he was 50 years old before he tried his first ever sip of alcohol, and it was a Glengoyne 21. And he's one of us now. We are Legion, Dave. It's good to see you in. Cheers, Roy. Sorry, we're going to see pass like ships in the night when I visit Scotland next time, my friend. Oh my goodness, are you going to arrive and leave while I'm away? That would be terrible. Yeah, let's hope for next time, buddy. Ian Bruce is saying nothing wrong with taking a break, and it makes things more appreciated on the return. Ian, genuinely, I miss it. I really do. I get anxious on Thursday nights, and I kind of wish, I wish I just kind of kept it going. But I do always feel the benefit of it. It was a promise I made when I started the vPub way back in 2017. I said, look, I'll make sure that we have plenty of weeks off in the summer. And it doesn't kind of become a continuous grind, and it's done me very, very well. So I do appreciate it. It's nice to switch off, recharge, and get some new ideas and things. Whiskey Lover Society is here. Greetings from Belgium. Good to see you, buddy. Always nice to welcome you in. And No Rolex is saying thanks for the Compass Box Orchard recommendation a couple of weeks ago. Gorgeous drinking tonight. There's a lot of fans of that Orchard House. It's a cracking, good value whiskey, just over 40 quid in the UK. A big dram from Danny Hebbington. Thank you, Danny. It's very generous, saying, good evening, Roy. Enjoy your holiday, buddy. My wife and kids are in Thailand for a month, and I'm stuck with restaurant deep clean and repairs for a month. He knows the right side of a pound, to be honest. I'm kind of enjoying it. Buddy, listen, that's a wee shame. I hope the family are enjoying Thailand, and I hope you get a chance once that deep clean is finished to relax a wee bit, even if it's just with a dram. But it's a very generous dram to buy me, Danny. Always a pleasure to have you in, buddy. Thank you. And my friend from Speyside, Scotty S, is in. Cheers, Roy. Have a good summer. We'll catch up on the replay. Scotty, thanks to you, my friend. Are you here or are you offshore? Thank you very much for your generous dram, buddy, and thanks for the kind wishes. Cheers. Nicholas is here. That's the Nicholas. He has a barfly. Thank you for the birthday greeting. Very appreciated. Hey, happy birthday, Nicholas. Have a good one, my friend. Hey, thank you for your support, and it's nice to have you here. The whiskey influencer Tim is saying, going with a different drinking glass today. I'm in a Capita today. The main reason is, I don't know, I've got 5 Glencairns in front of me. I'm going to participate in the blind challenge tonight along with everybody else. But of course, I know what the whiskies are. I know what colours they are and things. But I'm kind of going to try and step back a wee bit and as if I'm coming at it blind myself. The blind challenge tonight is different from normal blind challenges, and kind of that will be revealed as we go through the stream tonight, why I've chosen these 5 whiskies. And it's not anything big or profound, and it's nothing really to dwell upon, but there's a reason I've picked these 5 whiskies. The participants that are joining me tonight are just in it for fun, a good laugh. They're not taking any of this seriously. They say, I guarantee you that they're studying these whiskies hard. But more important than anything else, I hope they're studying them from the perspective of, do I like this whiskey? Would I buy this whiskey? And rank them 1 to 5 in order to give us their preferences. Now, that doesn't mean that they're 5th in the ranking, the one that they place last is a bad whiskey. That's really important. Nothing I've poured or given out is a booby trap. Nothing is a bad whiskey. I believe none of them are bad whiskies. But I think it'd be nice for you guys to hear. Throughout tonight, at some point, I'm going to drop a link in the live chat so that at the right moment, you guys can jump in and you can see online exactly what people are scoring, what they're drinking, what the challenges are, and eventually you'll get to see what colour matches with what expression. And I'll try my very hardest to spin all these plates and keep that updated and keep dropping in the link in order for you guys to see that, and you can kind of have a deeper understanding of what's going on. The participants, they won't be clicking on that link, and even if they do, I think it's only going to throw them a little bit. I think the best thing for them to do is just to focus on what's in the glasses, because they're going to be truer to the whiskey and themselves in the community by doing that. But I think it's nice for you guys to participate and see what's going on. Daniel Williams is celebrating for being a member for 19 months. Thank you very much, Daniel. And he's saying, going anywhere nice, Roy? He's off to the Czech Republic on the 25th. That sounds like a fantastic trip, Daniel. I hope it's great for you. We are just away to try and get a bit of vitamin D in the Spanish southeast coast. Cheers, Daniel. Thanks for supporting and being a member of the Barflies. And Jason Bradford's bought me a dram to say, evening, Roy, and all my whiskey friends. Good evening, Jason. Welcome in, my friend. I hope you're keeping well. Looks like we've had a new Real Miguel has just joined and signed up to be an Aquaviti Barfly. Miguel, it's wonderful to have you, my friend. It sounds like you are in Spain. If I was to make an assumption there, Real Miguel, 87. He's clicked the join button underneath and become a member of the Aquaviti Barflies. As well as supporting and keeping it ad-free, you also get access to all those cool kind of whiskey-themed emojis and things like that. And you can colour up the chat, and you also get your wee Barfly loyalty badges too. And Gav's Dram has also bought me a wee superhero sticker and dram as well. Gav, I hope you're well, my friend. Slanchivat to you. Cheers. My goodness, I said I was going to keep it neat tonight, and I am. Stop knocking back the drinks, Roy, and let's get the guests in. Anthony Lambert is saying good evening. Aquaviti, good evening, Barflies. Sitting here watching live after being tested COVID positive yesterday. Oh no, Anthony. Need a dram to cheer me up. Mild symptoms only, at least. Well, let's raise a glass and hope that it stays at that, buddy. Stay well, my friend. Thanks, Anthony. Cheers. And Danny is saying, it's all good, mate. A dram and a cigar is all I need to keep me happy. Well, amen to that. Fantastic stuff, Danny. Okay, let's start bringing in my very brave participants tonight. And I'll be honest with you and say that I did not design this to be a versus tonight. But what started to happen is, just through the people that said, yes, I'm available to come on, there started to be a wee theme. And I worked out that, wait a minute, we've got YouTube channels here, and we've got people in the general community who are also involved in supporting Dramface. Interestingly, some of them are involved in both. So I said, well, it'd be a good idea if we could do what we did in December. You might remember that we had 3 YouTube channels up against 3 industry members. The YouTube channels were Jim Ingram, Ben Whisky Geek, and I think it was Andy Maltbox back in December as well. Andy and Jim revealed their scores. And then I moved over to the industry, and the industry was made up of Michael Henry from Loch Lomond, Scott Adamson from Tomatin, and Ian Forteeth of Angus Dundee. Their scores, when they added up their scores from their performance, meant that Ben Whisky Geek needed an 8 out of 10 in order to take the victory for YouTube. It's a huge ask on an Aquaviti Blind Challenge, honestly speaking. You're targeting somewhere around a pass mark, honestly. And Ben comes in with a 10 out of 10. I wonder if that's going to be achieved by Ben or anybody else tonight again. I think I've not put together the blind challenge with any kind of degree of being sleek it or crafty. There's not a lot of interchangeable drams, I would say, tonight. It's going to be interesting to see. Maybe that's not entirely true. However, normally there's a kind of potential to get something confused. I hope that tonight things are a wee bit clearer. There's certainly no intention to put any banana skins in the lineup. Excuse me. Let's reach out to we'll bring in the YouTube channels first, and I'll welcome in my friend from No Nonsense Whisky. Been doing this for a wee while now, Vin. How you doing, Vin? Good to see you, buddy. I'll also bring in Ben, Whisky Geek. I hope you're well too, Ben. And finally, making up the YouTube channels, we have Ben 2 tonight. We've got two Bens. We've got Ben from the Whisky Diary. Nice to welcome you, Ben. I think this is the first time in, am I right?
It is indeed.
Well, it's nice to welcome you, my friend. For anybody that doesn't know Ben, there will be a link in the description box below. And if I don't put it in the description box below, it'll be in the comment section, the pinned comments, if you're following timestamps, so you can skip ahead to the salient points. I'll leave a link down there for Ben's channel as well. Ben, Whisky Diary, how long have you been doing your thing on YouTube?
Just over a year, I think, maybe just under. But I kind of took a few months off, kind of did it for a bit, took some time out, and then went, actually, I quite enjoyed that, so I'm going to go back and do it again.
Well, I have to say to you, buddy, for somebody who's only been doing it for a wee while, the production quality is off the scale. You put a lot of us that have been doing it for years to shame. And also, you're clearly a student of things. You're learning and you're sharing a lot of insightful information and things like that as well. Of course, you're part of the community. You're an enthusiast and sitting in front of a camera like the rest of us. But you are studying what you share with us. I would recommend everybody go and have a wee look at what Ben at the Whisky Diary on YouTube is putting out there. Ben, I should have done that actually. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to drop a wee link in for you. I know you're already well past the 1,000 subscriber mark under your own merits, which I think is amazing in itself. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't enjoy a few more subscribers, because
Thanks,
I think that folk, I've just subscribed to you for the second time, so you've now got 2 subs from me under 2 different accounts. And I've grabbed your channel link just now, and I'll drop it in here for anybody that wants to know a wee bit more about our Ben. Thanks for joining. Thanks for trusting me tonight, buddy, and thanks for stepping up to do your first vPub as a blind challenge. Vin.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Vin, it's nice to have you back again, buddy. Are you well?
Yeah, it's nice to be back again for another one of these. I don't know why I keep coming back for blind challenges, but
you remember you got that hook from the first ever blind challenge that you did, and you nailed it. You looked like you were walking the walk and talking the talk.
And it's just been downhill since then.
Ever since then, you've been sliding all over the place on the blind bananas. Yeah. But one of the most, and I think we've talked about, you and I have talked about this certainly, one of the most disarming things for a channel to do is to step up and get things wrong, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's blind tasting. It's this. I mean, I think I got lucky that first time for sure. And I have like no idea what's going on in the glasses here. There's a couple that I keep smelling it, and I'm like, I don't know where that flavor's coming from. So yeah, we'll see what we do.
I think you have suggested just before we went go live that you have a sneaky suspicion about one of them, right?
Oh yes. I will say I think I know what distillery Pink is, but I'm not going to tell anyone what I think that is.
Oh wow, Pink! You think that's quite something?
Yeah. Just a wee idea. Just a wee idea.
Well, you have to go for it because I mean it's a wee bit like that kind of, I don't know, that volley, that golf shot, that whatever it is that you do, and you just have a go at it. You know that it's very, very unlikely that it's going to come off, but when it does, doesn't it feel good, right? So yeah, keep it fresh, save it, and when you're ready to share it with us, let us know. Ben, I'm sorry, we build you up, big guy, but you're part of it. You're part of it. I've been here with you live in this very room, and I've saw you score ridiculously high. I've had you on the vPubs before doing amazing things and blind challenges. However, it's not all about the scoring, Ben. It's about the way you analyze a whiskey. People like it, and I like it. I think it's very, very good. Do you feel pressure tonight?
To a certain extent, I always joke that I internalize the panic. Today, it's fully exposed. I don't know what's going on here. I am very confused to the point where halfway through, I got slightly suspicious that I had COVID again. So I went and did a test because nothing was making sense to me. The test came off clear. I'm fine, but there's two of them here that I'm like, you could tell me that's a tequila and I'd probably believe you. I'm puzzled.
Well, there are no tequilas. Everything is in front of you tonight is absolutely whiskey. Like I say, it's legit pours tonight. There's no banana skins in here, and there is a reason for me sharing them with you. But just give me what you've got, buddy. It doesn't really matter if you're on your A game or if you're somewhere behind your A game. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to keep up with this chat that keeps jumping, and I can see why. Just let me grab these before they disappear, because I'll be a wee bit miffed if I miss them. I got Gav. Who have I missed here? Eric Cunliffe is celebrating being a barfly. Thank you very much, Eric, my friend. It's always a pleasure to have you in here. And I know that you're probably busy. The timeline, the time zone in Canada is tricky. Graham Young is in Canada as well. Just had a very great week of barfly fun. Thank you for this great community, Roy. Cheers and best wishes for a restful, safe holiday on a beach in the sun. Can I tell you guys why that's a nice comment? Graham Young is sitting at home with his pal and barfly, Gino, the two barflies together, Gino and Graham hanging out together. Peter Lee and his wife Denise is over from Scotland, and Jimmy Legg from Nova Scotia was there. The five of them all together. Fantastic photos to see. That's exactly what the Barflies group on Facebook is all about, helping people get together. Guys, I'll raise a glass to you. That's some kind of epic getting together. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Graham. Thanks for the dram. Corinne Tabinor is in as well, saying, have one in Spain on me, Corinne. Now, I know a Paul Tabinor, and he's in Canada. I wonder if you guys are together, related, just coincidence. Whiskey Journey is also just joined the Barflies, and he's joined me at the Patreon Averse level as well. Whiskey is a Journey. Thank you very much for your support, my friend. That's amazing to welcome you on. Thank you sincerely. Don't know if I'm catching all of these. I'm going to try my very best. Don McCausland has left a wee comment as well, just as it jumps Don. And he's saying, even Aquavita and Barfly celebrating being a member for 7 months. And also, Jean Delacuisine, good to have you back, Jean. Over 2 years of whiskey evangelism. That you've been supporting me for over 2 years, buddy. I've been here for knocking on 5. How confident are you guys? Are you feeling good? Vin, you've got a swagger about you tonight.
Nah, do you know what were you saying about before? I'm not like taking this seriously at all. I've made my decision. I'm sticking with it. It's changing in the glass as I'm talking, and I'm just going to stick with it because what it is what it is.
You know the trick. Go with your gut. Go with your fun. Don't
stop messing around.
Absolutely, go with it. Ben, we know you're having a wee bit of a wobble tonight, but I'm sure we'll work out if you're just playing that Whiskey Geek game again. Whiskey Diary, Ben, how are you feeling about it? Where's your 5 drams? It's a very clean desk.
Oh, they're just here.
Right.
Bring them in.
How are you feeling about it? Confident or not so much?
I have absolutely no idea. Like, the order has changed completely. I tried them all. I pulled them all out and I sat down. I went through, kind of made my tasting notes, kind of started putting together some kind of picture of what I thought of them, and then went back to the first one, and everything I had written down was completely wrong. Like, completely different. It completely changed, and I was like,
listen, the only thing is, at this point, is certainly this is the whiskey that's on test, buddy. It's nothing to do with you or your assessments or what you believe. Just as best you can, and even choosing a favorite whiskey over another whiskey, especially when they're as varied as what I've given you in this lineup, is super difficult. Do the best you can to rank them, and your job is done for now. The real pressure comes on in about 10 minutes' time. Excellent. Great to have you back, guys. Thanks very much for supporting. Drop into the background. I'll bring you back in after I've said hello to your, can I say opposing team? Is that too much? I'll bring in the team from Dramface. I'll talk to them for a minute, and then we'll hit you all with your challenges. Make sure that you commit to your preferences. I'll see you in a minute. Cheers, Vin. Cheers, Ben. And cheers, Whiskey Geek Ben. Okay, let's jump straight into the Dramface team. Let's bring in my pal and Dramface sub-editor, Scotty Monroe. How are you, fella? Good to see you.
I'm good, thank you, Roy.
We've got a well-kent face around these parts. We've got Julie Hamilton coming back again. Julie, always good to see you.
Hello.
And we've also, completing the Dramface team tonight, Rob Halford would have been here as well. I'm gutted that you're not here, Rob, but of course, we've got a ringer in Andy from Maltbox. Now, before everybody starts to shout at me, wait a minute, Maltbox, that's a YouTube channel. What's he doing on Team Dramface? Andy, we just asked this. Well, can't it be both?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's ride that fence.
We don't need to give away whether you're writing under an alias. We don't need to give away if you're helping with some background stuff. Whatever it is, are you or are you not directly involved in Dramface?
I am.
Julie, are you a ringer tonight? Or do you have a wee bit of familiarity about the Dramface back office, let's say?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in between ringer and back office, I would say.
I would say that that's a good way to put it. And I think it's a fair way to put it for our Andy as well. But if we talk about the Dramface back office, that's Scotty's domain. So you're very much... Scotty, Dramface is going well, isn't it, buddy?
Yeah, it's going very well, thanks, Roy. Yeah, it's a great team effort. I think we're doing some really good things. Not only on the printed side or on the website, but also in the podcast too, which has been really good fun when I've been involved with that too. Yeah.
Podcast 11, by the way, the penultimate one, the second last one in this series. It seems pretentious calling them series, but it's true. That goes out on Monday. It's cut and ready. It gets released to members on Monday, and public release a week after that. So you should be kept going with the last two podcasts over July and early August. But it's thanks to people like you that's made it a success. We're still learning. We're only 6 months in, right? But it's doing pretty well. Anyway, it's about Blind Challenge tonight, and the three of you are making up Team Dramface, and I'm grateful for it. Has it been easy, Julie, for you to pick your favourite tonight?
No,
it never is it?
It's not been easy at all, and I keep changing. I've changed it so many times, and after 1 and 2, they're a joint, I would say. So, I'm it's a real level blind challenge. So it's we'll see.
This is Julie nervous at the bit where it's the whiskey on test. Wait till you see the state of things, because I think we feel, because we know our way around a glass of whiskey, Julie, we start to feel like we should know better. Yeah. But whiskey's always teaching to chill out.
That's true.
It's not about us, right? It's not. Every whiskey is going to switch up and be different. And even when it's the same whiskey made at the same distillery, it's made batch by batch by batch. It's different, and it switches up and it changes on us. This is the most sobering thing you can do to keep your humility in check, I think. It's always giving us a wee red face. Me too.
I'm fully prepared for that. Fully prepared. So
well, as long as are you somewhere close to locking in your favourites, I'm
drawing a line.
You're at that point where you're just going to commit.
So many things. I'm now on my second bit of paper, so I'm done.
Good. Andy, you're smiling. I don't know if it's a confident smile.
Oh no, it's pure unadulterated terror, to be honest.
Listen, don't worry about it. It's not a typical blind challenge tonight, and all will be revealed a wee bit later why it's not. Have you been able to dial in your favourite, buddy, or are you struggling with that even?
Yeah, I had a bit of a choice between two, and there's one of them, without giving too much away at this stage, I thought initially was that bonkers that I couldn't possibly put it anything but last, but it's grown on me because it's bonkers.
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird.
Yeah.
I hope it's the same one.
So am I now. I've said it. Everyone else is like, that's perfectly normal. What are you talking about? But yeah, no, it's been fun. It's been really engaging, really, really challenging. So I'm looking forward to it.
Scotty's nodding as well. Does that mean that you're getting what Andy's saying? Are you on a similar page?
Yeah, so I've got it in my notes here, and my bottom dram is now my top dram. And there's
the old switcheroo.
Yeah, so my notes for the first round were all over the place, but yeah, it's pretty difficult. But I'm pretty confident on two of them. Well, I say confident. I know they're whiskey, so that's always a bonus. But yeah, it's been tough.
Aye. Listen, if it's been tough at this part, at this the easy part, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here on in. Listen, everybody that's watching, that's tuning in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these guys in and give me their favourite. I'm going to try and shuffle the dots around, publish it to the web, drop in the link for everybody. You can see it all, and then you can see what they've preferred. And at that point in time, I'll give them their challenges too. Guys, good luck. I'm going to bring in the YouTubers now. I'm going to bring in Vin. I'm going to bring in Whisky Diary Ben. And I'm going to bring in Whisky Geek Ben as well. So the reason I'm bringing you all in at the same time, just so you can share what your favourites are to least favourite, is because there's going to be a wee bit of camaraderie here. There's going to be nods and surprises and eyebrows raised and things like that. But it's going to be nice just to see if there's any kind of agreement here. There doesn't need to be. If anything, there's an argument that whiskey, being as varied as it is, should get a lot of. But there are some that I've put in here. I think clearly this is the best whiskey. I'm saying it myself. Clearly they're going to pick this as the best. They're going to pick this as the second best. But I'm the same as you. As I've literally been setting up tonight, I've switched my first, second, and third around in order. Second, last, and last has been a wee bit easier for me, but I'm just going to leave it at that because I tend to find that I'm sometimes guilty of leading folk. Let's start with the order I've got in my thing here. Ben Whisky Geek, give me your favourite colour, please.
Favourite for me was blue. Yeah.
Right, let's go to No Nonsense Whisky. Vin, what was your favourite, buddy?
My favourite was blue. So that means either Ben really is on a bad one or I'm on a good one.
Whisky Diary Ben, what's your favourite, buddy?
Mine was also blue.
Uh-oh.
Very interesting.
But it was very, very close. It wasn't blue, and about 30 minutes ago, it was blue.
Interesting stuff. Love it, love it, love it. Are we going to see any divergence there? Scotty Monroe, what's your favourite, my friend?
My favourite's red.
Bring in red.
Mm-hmm.
Julie, favourite?
Mine is blue.
Blue's killing it.
Julie's
and
on the
finally,
wrong team.
Andy, what's your favourite, buddy?
I'm going to be awkward, mate. I'm going green.
Nice, nice. We wouldn't want it any other way, Andy. We wouldn't want it any other way. Right, let's go backwards then. Andy, what did you put in second and third for me?
Right, yeah. So this is, you know what you were just saying about switching them around.
Yeah. Don't worry. You have to commit, son. You have to
Oh
commit.
man. Right. Okay. I'm going to go red for second. It's just nuts. I love it. It's insane.
Red for second. I'm trying to keep my poker face on here. Super. And finally, I'm going to guess, are you going to put blue in third place, Andy?
I am.
No.
Doesn't bode well.
Genuinely. Yeah. Julie, second and third for you.
Second, I'm with Andy. I think we have got the same one. It's bonkers. It's red. It's insane. It's great. And green for third. So we're a variation on a theme so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Terrific.
Yeah.
Superb. And Scotty, second and third, please.
Number 2 for me is green. And number 3 is yellow.
Oh.
Ooh.
So that's
Sorry, team.
it's yellow getting the first wee nudge forward there. That's perfect. Right, let's go back up to our YouTube channels then. Let's go to Ben Whisky Diary. Give me your second and third, Ben.
So, and it's literally like just changed like now. Because
You're not allowed to change.
well,
Go ahead.
They had the same number, but I kind of gave them numbers so that I had a rough idea, but they both had the same number. So I'm just going to say them as pink was second and red was third.
Pink second and red third.
But they were like even.
Terrific. I'm looking at my favourite to least favourite, and honestly, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I'm only joking. Vin, what did you have for 2 and 3, buddy?
I went with pink for second and yellow for third.
Pink second, yellow third.
Mm.
Superb. And finally, Ben, Whiskey Geek, second and third.
Green second, yellow third.
Ooh. Okay. So that's quite a good spread. It's quite a good mix. Ben, give me your fourth and fifth.
Fourth would be pink and fifth is red.
I'm just scanning I'm just seeing if anybody's got the same as me tonight. All right. Thanks, Ben. So we've got Ben for you, blue, green, yellow, pink, red. Vin, what did you have for 4 and 5?
I've put fourth is red and fifth is green. And I based the whole lineup on basically what I just would like to drink casually on an evening, because the other guys are right. Red and green are bonkers. And most evenings I don't want to drink bonkers. So that's what I'm going with.
But green is good bonkers.
They're all good. They're all good. But yeah, the first 3 are much more up my casual drinking street.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you for that very summary once we get these colours in. It's interesting that you said that though. Ben, Whiskey Diary, 4 and 5 for you, buddy.
Yellow and green.
Superb. Okay, so that's YouTube locked in. I'd say, wow. Blue and pink seem to be doing the best for the YouTube channels. Yellow seems to be in the middle, and then red, and then green, I think. But red and green, Whiskey Geeks put green in better place. Anyway, Scotty Monroe, what do we have from you for 4 and 5, please, buddy?
4's blue and 5's pink.
Excellent. That was the order they were in. That makes it dead easy for me, buddy. So you've put you've put the blue closest to the end. Nobody's put blue in last place though. It's been enjoyed. Julie,
Yeah, I did just to say I did enjoy blue. I thought it was a really nice whiskey, but I just didn't think it compared with the other 3.
Terrific. I'm a wee bit disappointed about 1. Julie, what do you think about 4 and 5?
4 I've got as pink and 5 as yellow.
Okay. So pink seems to have done quite well with the YouTube channels, but not so well at Team Dramface. Tell me then, Andy, where did you put pink?
I trained at the school of Julie Hamilton because I'm going pink 4th and yellow 5th.
The two of you guys are very close. The blue's pretty much the only thing that's kind of thrown it. Well, yeah, your top 3, you're kind of mixed around, but it's close.
Mm-hmm.
Very close, the two of you. Aye. Smashing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to update that. And if that's worked, I can then share. If this works, I will be quite surprised. But I'm going to drop this in it. Obviously, you guys, I would recommend that you do not click on this link. But the link that I'm dropping in the lives right now is for all of you guys to start participating and see what's happening. Right now, you're only going to see the scores. You're not going to see anything. There's nothing to be discovered there, but you will see how the scores are. And that's the presentation that I'm going to be updating throughout tonight. Janinic 33, birthday dram. Thanks for this, Roy, says Alistair Gray, celebrating being a barfly for 29 months. Janinic 33, that's a Berry Brothers and Rudd. I have that one, Alistair, and it's an absolute belter of a whiskey. I've only got a tiny wee drip of it left. I hope you've got more than me. Tom Elmer is saying, will we be getting the Dramface handles? No, we're not giving anything away tonight. Any of us that knows anything about the Dramface handles. That's not the point of Dramface. Gordon Fraser is saying, hope your golf swing is in check, boss. Wish I could be there with you. Buddy, it's nice of you to drop by and buy me a wee dram. Thanks, Gordon Fraser. Cheers. He may or may not also be connected with Dramface. And Rob Halford is in. I think he's just in to say a quick hello. And he's saying, go Team Dramface. There you go, Rob. Thanks very much. You're being a good sport despite not being able to have your drams, buddy. I do apologise for that. I need to get things organised. It'll become a wee bit clear why I wasn't quite as organised for this. Anyway, so there we have it. You're ready for your challenges now, guys?
Yeah, go for it.
Aye.
Let's attempt this. Slide 1. There we go. Challenges. You've locked in your favourites. Now I'm going to start to reveal what you may have in front of you. I think, based on some initial hints and feedback, you're in with a shout tonight. Number 1, find the £35 budget bottle. There's a bottle in your lineup tonight that costs you 35 quid. 2, find the single cask indie. There's a single cask here tonight from an independent. I'm asking if you can spot it. Number 3, find the premium 15-year-old. By premium, what I'm talking about there is something that's kind of relatively higher in terms of age. You can see here I'm talking about 15-year-old. It's a core range product. It's a recognized distillery, and this is their premium at 15 years old, or one of their premiums, let's say. Number 4, find the new Highland distillery. In your lineup tonight, we've got a fairly new, I'm not suggesting it's a first release, inaugural release, or something that's not been released yet. Nothing like that. This is a fairly new Highland distillery. And finally, find the English single malt. So I'm not just saying find the world whiskey. I am specifically saying find the English single malt. I want to bring that away because I want to see what kind of is there confidence here, or there's a smile for Julie, but I don't know if it's a nervous smile.
Confidence.
Nervous smile. God almighty. Yeah.
Right. Have you written that down? Do you need that up again just to see it again?
Well,
No, I'm good.
I usually print all of these out, but I was up against time pressure as we're picking up. So you're good. You've got it written down, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ben, do you need it?
No, I've got it written down. I'm just confused.
Right, no problem. I'm going to leave you to drop in for you and leave you for 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll bring you all back in again, and I'll ask you to commit. Okay?
Good luck.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Rory.
I'll see you very shortly. Good luck, guys. Scotty, Vin, Andy, Ben, Julie, and Ben. 2 Bens tonight. So there we go. Find the budget £35 bottle. Find the single cask indie. Find the premium 15-year-old. Find the new Highland distillery, and find the English single malt. Looks like I missed a dram. I do not want to miss any drams tonight. Justin from Hong Kong. Justin, he said, I've been watching the replay mostly. This is my first time planning to properly follow the whole vPub live. Literally buzzing with excitement. So much more engaging live. Justin, it is, because it's smashing to have you in live as well. And it's quite an interesting one. I always have a bit of fun with these ones too, Justin. Hanging out with friends and having a wee blind challenge. Justin, thank you very much for your generous dram, my friend. Cheers to you, Slancher. And it's nice to welcome you in. So if I go through these, I'm not going to share the colours. I'm turning the dots off to the side. I don't want to lead anyone. But these are now sitting in the order of my preference. I'll turn the coloured dots close to me. You just see a white dot that way. How can anybody not be screaming about how an amazing whiskey that one is? But I understand what they're talking about. I've not given anybody a dud whiskey. These are all good whiskies. And it's going to be interesting to see if they live up to the expectations. Now that they know what they're looking for a cheap whiskey. They're looking for an independent, a single cask. They're looking for a new Highland distillery. They're looking for an English single malt, and they're looking for a 15-year-old premium in this lineup. Even the one I've put in last place doesn't deserve to be talked about in the context of last place. When I first approached this whiskey, I didn't know what to make of it. 2 or 3, 4 drams in, you start to realize this is interesting stuff. John Manning is celebrating being a member for 14 months. Cheers to you, John. Thanks very much for your support, my friend. And he's saying, good to see your guests are all perplexed. That's the thing, is that we need to do more of this to encourage people that even when we know our way around a glass of whiskey, so much of it is about how the whiskey is leading us. It's not ever going to be a stage that we can confidently pick up a glass and say, oh yeah, this is this, it is this age, it's from this region, this distillery, it's this ABV or anything. There's so much happening, especially, and it's really important that I dwell on this, when you are sipping 5 drams in a flight, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, you very quickly turn yourself into a knot. The best way to approach this is to go at one glass at a time. Take your time, pause, take your time, go back, make notes, and go with your gut instinct. And then go through. And then as you go through, pausing and dwelling with each one, you can then afterwards go back and start to compare and contrast and see if you can pick out anything else or anything different. I'm trying my best to make sure I don't miss any of your wee super chats or wee barfly celebrations. I'll do my best to keep up. Time for a dram. Gregor, he's here. Gregor, you're in Spain. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Aquaviti, to be honest, you were pushed for time because of the holiday waxing appointment you had. Have an immense break with the family, my friend. Gregor, thank you very, very much. I hope that your break with your family and all the partying that you're doing out there in Spain is meaning that it's going to be easier to manage your come down after your amazing trip around Scotland. It was a pleasure to spend so much time with you, buddy, and I look forward to the next time. Cheers, Gregor. MTL, good to see you. Bedtime for me. I do love these blind challenges, so I'll catch the rest tomorrow. Have a great holiday, Aquaviti, and see you when you're back. I hope you do pick up the rest on replay, MTL. Listen, to anybody that's picking up on replay, hopefully I've had time to scrub through the timeline and drop in the chapters so that you'll be able to skip ahead. But honestly, I think it's nice to just kind of go through the anxiety with everybody that's participating. Peter Lee is now back in Boston after his trip up to Canada, and he's watching live. Peter, fantastic. Good to welcome you in. I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you're enjoying your time out there as well. Seeing you, Jimmy Legg, Denise, Gino, and Graham was a treat for me. Wonderful. Thomas Elmer is saying, here are my guesses. Red, blue, pink, green, yellow. From a distance. Right, guys, I'm going to drop in this link again for everybody that's watching. And what you can see now, it's not going to really help you. You can see that the challenges have been added. The challenges that I've just read out to the guys have been added to that presentation. I hope that everybody's getting to see it. Barter Hordes is saying 300 watching. Fantastic. Thanks to everybody for your support. Please hit the like button. The likes do help us. They certainly help me. They help. It is a measure of feedback, but YouTube seemed to like it too. I'd appreciate everybody if they're willing to step up and hit that like button. Yeah, almost 300 of you in for the last vPub before the summer break. I love the support. Thank you so much. Time for a dram. Picked you up, buddy. Sabrina, is it here? Sabrina, you're in Scotland. Hi from Campbelltown. Fantastic. I'm really excited to see your photos. I love seeing you going around, Sabrina. Share those photos in the Barflies page. I'm watching. I'm loving, vicariously living the trips around Scotland through your eyes. Sabrina, I hope you love being in Scotland. I'm really gutted that I didn't get any time to meet up with you or say hello. Next time, Sabrina, slancha. Real Miguel is saying, Aquaviti, thanks for your commitment to sharing whiskey. Hey, whiskey demands it, right, Miguel? I hope you enjoy sharing whiskey too. David Owen is saying up early tomorrow, so catch the rest on Friday. David, I love you. Always join us here live. You always pick up the balance on replay. It's very much appreciated. Thanks to everybody who's here live, of course, but also the folk who are dedicated and pick it up on the replay. And Doc is saying, Barter Horse has done the maths. See above. Okay, so we've got a scoring system. Here we go. If any of you are scoring geeks, blue, this is terrific. It's scoring 25, so blue's the winner here. Red is second, scoring 19. Green is on 18. And pink is on 15. And yellow on 13. So there we have it. I would suggest to you that to be in 5th place here tonight, don't consider that a bad whiskey or last place. I've given out 5 good whiskies. Putting one in 5th place, as you can see from the coloured dots when I shared them, is difficult. I'll do a wee screen share if I can, actually. Can I do a screen share? Just to let you guys see. If you're clicking on the link, you'll have already seen this. I don't want to do a screen share because you might see a glimpse of the bottles. We'll do that a wee bit later. All right, let's see what kind of state we're in. Let's see if the guys feel like they know. Give me a thumbs up. No, one of them has at least ran away. One of them is not even in front of the camera anymore. So we'll wait a wee minute. No, I'm getting no thumbs up from the rest of them either. If Ben's here, Vin, the other Ben, Andy's just appeared back, but Scott's not here. They might be having a wee bit. I'm going to give you another few minutes, guys. Real Miguel is saying, I've even met Graham Fraser at an SMWS tasting at Stirling Distillery. Fantastic. That's quite amazing. There's a lot of folk met Graham Fraser. He's a busy, busy whiskey guy. Jimmy Legg is saying, those are some pretty obscure bottles for me. Glad I'm not involved in this. That's the difficulty with being in Canada with the limited selection, Jimmy. Of course, it's not about being familiar with the whiskey, though. You need to remember that. It's really not about that. Although, once you're starting to do the semi-blind matchup and things and you're trying to address it, you're kind of looking for traits rather than specific things about the whiskey. Absolutely. Jimmy, your question I had it there and it just jumped. I'm so sorry, my friend. I think I had you though, right? Jimmy, where are you? Yeah, I got you. And Barter Hordes is saying we can already see the bottles. I know, I've just dropped it in. Stu Baby, you might have had access with the first link even. Stu Baby saying, good evening. Nice to catch up with fellow barflies before your break. Have a wicked holiday. Thanks, Stu. Thanks for joining in. I hope you're doing well, buddy. And Tim Dorpass Whiskies bought me a dram to say, with how mad travel is right now, with everyone going to trying to go, glad I came in May. Hope your journey and everything is smooth. People were the best part. Wow, was it way back in May you were here? Feels like just a couple of weeks ago, Tim. Yeah, but cheers to you, buddy. It was nice to meet you. Okay, I'll keep dropping in that link. There you go. I can see that Sugar Kitty is also dropping in the link as well. Appreciated, Sugar Kitty. So folk can see. Let's bring our guys back in now. How's the thumbs doing? Are we getting any thumbs? Oh, there's some. Oh, no, Scotty's just kind of saying, whatever. I'll bring Scotty in. You struggling, buddy?
Oh, yes, big time. I have not. I was pretty cold, like, yeah, I know what that distillery is. Easy. Well, it's not any of those distilleries I was thinking about. So.
Oh, dear. Well, Vin also had confident about a distillery. Vin, are you still confident now, buddy?
Absolutely not. I've attached that theory to what matches one of them, but I've found that doesn't do me any favors usually in these things. So,
are you feeling confident to even share what distillery you thought you'd found?
I mean, if everyone wants to hear it, but it's got to be wrong now because they can all see the bottles now. So yeah. I thought I was getting some Glengoyne vibes from it, but from what I'm hearing on the chat, it's a bit obscure, so I don't think it's there.
Which color? Which color, buddy?
Pink.
Love it. Fantastic. Good. Andy at Maltbox. Oh no, no more confidence there either. Just a shaky head. Okay. No confidence here either. Let's see if Ben from Whisky Diary is feeling any better.
Andy summed it up perfectly, to be honest.
Okay. With a shaky head, Andy has summed it up perfectly. And Julie, let's see if we can have some sunshine from Julie Hamilton. No, another shaky head. See, I wonder, is this just humility because we know what whiskey's capable of doing to us?
I have to say, Vin, when you were saying that you thought you knew what one of them was, I thought, I bet you it's pink that he thinks. So I wrote down what I thought, and I had Glen Scotia for pink.
Oh wow! Wow.
So there you
Pink
go.
Glen Scotia.
But I think it's also wrong now that I've got all these other lineups, all these other cylinders. So
Do you like pink, Julie? Do you like it?
I like them all, Roy. Honestly, there isn't a bad whiskey among them. There isn't any that I don't like. It's the ones that I like better than others. So
Sure.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
That's what I was hoping, that nobody was going to say, Roy, this is a horror that you've given me. It's good.
Yeah.
And finally, let's get in the thinker. I've given him the maximum thinking time. Yeah, I can see him pondering. Ben, how's the contemplation going?
Oh yeah, we're definitely on for another 10 out of 10 here. It's a done deal. I do find it funny. You guys are saying Glengoyne maybe or Glen Scotia for pink, and I wrote English on my tasting notes for pink. English with a question mark.
Well, so
Wow.
did I actually. Well,
This is
There we go.
fantastic. This is good. And it's not fantastic because you're all over the place. It's
Yes.
fantastic because you're actively looking at these things. You're saying that they're all good, but there's a chance that the English whiskey could be something that you're really, really enjoying, right? And I think
Sure.
that's happening
Oh,
more and more and more all the time. It's terrifying. Julie, what's going on?
Oh,
There's a noise coming from over the hill, and it's a noise of English malt whiskey.
Yeah.
Um,
It's the
there
rabble,
is-
the rabble are coming.
Yeah,
That's
the rabble are coming. Hey, let Julie, it's still on a really small scale. I think we
I
can
know,
still
it's
take
all
them. So, but it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And I think that that's what's happening down south of the border. Nobody's making loads and loads of stacks of barrels to throw into blends and things like that. Nobody's making mass market product and pumping it out at 40 and 43%. They're making whiskey for whiskey's sake.
Really good
making it
quality,
Good
yeah.
flavour. Quality's up there, and it's
Yeah.
only going to get better year by year. All right, what's the best way to do this? To trust you? I think the best thing to do is just to go through one of you one at a time and just say, I'll just randomly say, Scotty, what colour did you think was our English whiskey?
Okay, the caveat is I know nothing about whiskey, right? Nothing. But I've put it as green. I've put it as green, which is number 2, and that was just a process of elimination.
Okay. So okay, I'm going to make a wee chart here in English. You've put green, all right.
I put green, yeah.
Does anybody put their hand up if they agree with Scotty for green? We've got
Go on,
2.
Ben and Andy.
All right, we've got a Ben and an Andy agreeing with Scotty. Good. That means, Julie, what did you think was English?
Pink.
You thought pink was English, as you mentioned there, okay.
Yeah, but I have to say I've got an arrow that goes between green and pink because I was unsure. Honest. But yeah, pink was my guess.
It's all right to be unsure.
Yeah.
Ben, what did you think was English whiskey?
Is this me, Ben?
Oh, sorry. Whiskey Geek Ben, yes.
So I stuck with pink, but with the caveat that is based solely on one try of a Cotswolds whiskey being my only hook for what English whiskey is. So it's not much of anything.
Yeah, see, this is what the thing we have to remember here, because you're still, despite being in Englandshire, you're very much a Scotch whiskey fan.
Yeah.
Aye, it's interesting. All right, let's see. Where do we think the cheap whiskey is here? Who thinks the £35 whiskey is findable? Let's go to Ben. Just Ben, Whiskey Geek. What did you think was the £35 whiskey?
I thought it was red, based on not the fact that I rated it the lowest, but based on it kind of petering out and losing clout on palate and nose for me. I don't know, on the palate and finish. Sorry, on the nose it was all right. It was pleasant. It was everything that I feel most producers aim for with a kind of an entry level malt, and then it just kind of petered out for me. So I went with that one.
Fantastic. Anybody else agree that the red? Hands up if you think red is the budget. No. Okay, let's go to Ben. The two Bens are in agreement then with that one. Fantastic. Okay, Andy, what did you think was the budget whiskey?
I'm probably going to live to regret this. Blue. I'll be honest, mate. It got to a point where I just took what I did in school with multiple choice tests and just closed my eyes. I just went like, statistically, I've got to get one right. Surely.
Baby.
I love it, buddy. I love it. Seb K's bought me a dram. Seb, you star. We got to meet and hang out in Germany earlier. Tuning in after a long absence due to travel and planning, says Seb. Our impending relocation from Beirut to Lisbon. Limburg's still fresh in my memory as a whiskey highlight this year. Slancheroy and fellow barflies. Seb, it's not going to be the last time we get to hang out, buddy. It was a pleasure for me too. Thanks for the dram, buddy, and good luck with the move to Lisbon. Fantastic to hear. I get where you're coming from, buddy. You get to the point where, like, these are all good. What's the point of this thing? What's he doing here? Julie, what are you going to suggest is the budget whiskey here? This is good. Talking about a budget whiskey.
Yellow.
You think yellow for the budget whiskey?
I've gone yellow for the budget whiskey. Yeah.
And you're on record as saying none of these are bad whiskeys, so it's not
No.
about it being a poor whiskey or whatever.
No, it's not. That was a process of elimination. It was what I had left. More than I chose it for being the one.
Smashing.
Yeah.
So that leaves Scotty.
I think I'm
Sorry,
going to
Julie.
regret that one, though. I think I will live to regret that one.
I don't think so. I don't think. I hope if I send anybody after this vPub with regret, I've got a problem on my hands. Scotty, tell me what is your budget whiskey in the lineup, buddy?
Well, if Julie's regretting it, then so will I, because I think yellow as well.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, so Scotty and Julie both in agreement on yellow. And again, Scotty, it's not nothing to do with being a poor whiskey, or is it?
No, it's not that at all. I think I might have tried it before, but my mind might be playing tricks. But it kind of fits the flavour profile of the whiskey I'm thinking about, so that's why I went for yellow.
Terrific. You're good. I think that's why you managed to pick out Kilkerrans and things like that in previous, because I think you do. You're too humble. I think you have a good memory for things. So it's going to be interesting to see what you think this is. Okay, let's ask this 15-year-old premium, and I've got premium in inverted commas here, right? What's premium? But once you get into the teenage years, usually there's a price hike on things, right? And they're usually charging premium prices for product. What, Ben from Whisky Diary, what did you think was the premium whiskey in the lineup? What colour did you match to that?
I chose pink.
Any reason?
I felt like of all of them, it was kind of for me, it had like some nice red berries and stuff, and like I found that on the tail end of it, it had like a bit of a minty, spearminty kind of thing going on, which I generally find like evolution comes from something that's slightly older, even if it, I mean, I know you use the term premium in inverted commas, but I find age brings evolution. And while it doesn't necessarily strike me initially as being something very old, I found that it changed like over time, like on my palate and stuff. And so for me, that's why I kind of thought, well, that's going to have some age to it. But it was also very much just like all of these are so difficult. It was like, what can
that's interesting, because I've taken a sip of that as you've been talking. There's a green note on it on the end for me, like a nettle or a mint or maybe even a wee bit of a tomato vine type thing. And I've never spotted it before, but it is there, and I know exactly the taste note that you're talking about.
The power of suggestion.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you enjoy whiskey and company like this. It's amazing for it, right? Vin, what would you have suggested?
Let me quick catch you up on the other ones as well, because I think
I realise I've still got blanks next to your name here, buddy. I was yeah.
So I got the So I caveat all of this with I absolutely know nothing about whiskey, but English I've picked as yellow. Not even sure why. The budget I've gone with pink, because I'm still hammering home with that like Glengoyne vibe. So I'm going to say I'm now going to pick that as like Glengoyne 10. But there you go. And the premium I've gone red, purely because it was the last one and I couldn't place it. This red thing, I have no idea what it is, no idea what it's doing in my mouth. It's last category I picked. That's it.
I think the good thing about this red one is that we all feel the same way about it. It's insane.
I want to know.
mental.
For me, it's so much of an oddball that you keep going back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You keep going back. You keep going back. There's something in it,
It moved in my lineup the whole time. It kind of
Yep.
dotted up and down my lineup the whole time.
I'm right.
Yep.
Started at the bottom of mine, and then I was like, do you know what? He's kind of a little bit fun. I like this guy. He's all right.
Yeah.
And he
Exactly
started
the same
going
here.
up.
And this is why I love blind tasting, because if you knew what you were drinking and all of these discussions that we are having, I think you would caveat everything, and you would say things that is as expected. So it's superb. Thanks, Vin. So yellow for English, pink for your budget, 15-year-old you think is red. Scotty, what have you got for the premium, buddy?
For premium, I've got red as well.
Red.
Yeah, same as Vin.
Same as Vin.
Yeah.
Terrific. Julie, what are you plumping for the premium 15-year-old?
So I've gone for green for the premium 15. And as I say, I had an arrow going between pink and green for English and premium. And yeah.
All right, okay.
So I made the decision to stick with my gut feeling on it, but I'm going to go green for my premium.
Excellent. So, but you were between English and premium on those two.
Yeah.
You had to commit. Andy, what about you, buddy? Premium whiskey tonight?
Yeah. Finger in the air, pink. Why not?
Okay, agreeing with Ben, Whisky Diary. And finally, Ben, Whisky Geek. Buddy, what are you? Where did you think the premium lay tonight?
I went with blue for premium. Not just because it was the one that I enjoyed the most. Typically, my most enjoyed style of whiskey would be more along the single cask indie. But because there was a depth and evolution and a lot of intricacies and niceties, but also I was finding what I would associate with youth on quite a few of the others. So the others that I was considering are kind of eliminated that way. So I was left with blue in a way.
Good. Wow. That's been a wee while since I've sipped blue. So as you were talking, I took a wee sip from that. Oh. Okay. Let's move on to then what have we got left? We've done budget, we've done English, we've done 15-year-old. We're going to see if anybody can pick out the single cask. Ben, let's stick with that on that theme. You mentioned single cask here. What did you end up plumping for the single cask then? What colour?
Green, because of quite a few odd, succinct notes that part of the reason that I really enjoy single cask styles of whiskies is because every cask that's picked to be bottled as a single cask tends to have a distinct character, something to explore, something that makes it stand out, which is why someone's picked it for a special bottling. And so in this, I was finding a carameled Turkish delight, which sounds quite peculiar, but it was quite prominent as that style of thing. And cloves, a deep cloves, that was underpinning everything. There was lots of other elements around it, but because they stood out and they were weird, but very distinct, I was like, yeah, that feels like the style that I like.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love you talking about the caramel Turkish delight. I like you talking about cloves. Again, I know that Ben's already suggested it's power of suggestion, but that's why we love doing it like this, because I'm on board with all of that. So you've gone green. Let's go with Scotty. What have you got for the single cask, buddy?
So I went with blue, Roy. I think the ABV's up there. It reminds me of a certain distillery or expression from a distillery. But I think the higher ABV, I don't know, something about it just said single cask, or it was up there in ABV. That's the kind of reason behind it. But yeah, it's a really nice whiskey. I put it number 4. I'm now going back to them all again, and it could be number 1. So what do I know?
So it's now shot. It's now shot from number 4 up to number 1.
Just about, aye.
You're back in your music journalism days. This is like the music charts, shooting from number 4 to number 1. Right? It's like
you're absolutely right. But no, it's a lovely whiskey, no matter what it is. But I think that's the single cask indie.
Fantastic. Julie, what are you thinking for the single cask?
Single cask, I chose blue.
Say, all
the very same reasons. Yep. I think it's got a depth in the ABV and characteristics. A very similar thing to what Ben was talking about those kind of weird intricacies. And yeah, but I'm getting that from Blue.
Okay, before we go, let's go with Andy, Maltbox Andy, buddy. How are you getting on with? You think you found a single cask in there?
Just asking me how I'm getting on, mate. It's never going to go well.
Yeah. Well, you're here for the smiles and the humour, buddy.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all good. Yeah, single cask. I'm going yellow. It reminds me of a couple of like the old sort of signatory unchill filtered range and that kind of thing. So I don't know. I can't pinpoint the distillery, I'll be honest.
I feel like a school teacher as I'm writing down your answers in this wee grid here. I'm giving it tick or cross. I should get a red pen out. Should get a red pen. Ben, sorry, Julie. What was that?
You said you getting smiley face stickers.
Smiley Ivy stickers. Well done. Oh, better luck next time.
Never mind.
Yeah. Or getting a gold sticker for participation.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, Whiskey Diary, Ben. Where's your single cask, buddy? Give me a colour.
Mine's with the blue.
Whoa, you're on board with the blues.
Yeah,
So that's
it had
Yep.
It had a volatility, those higher ABVs. When it hits your tongue, it like pops. That's why I love those like higher ABVs. It's why I tend to gravitate personally towards a lot of single cask stuff. It was my highest ranking. As soon as it goes in, it like pops. So it was like, yeah. As soon as you said there's a single cask indie, it was like that's the only one that I'm moderately sure of, and fully set myself up to be fully embarrassed. But that was the one I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go single cask for that one straight away.
Understood. Makes sense. I get it. That leaves us with Vin, buddy.
Yep. I'm hitting the blue as well, mainly mirroring what everyone else is saying. I'm thinking I thought all the other ones were about sort of 46%. This one's given me 48, 50% vibes, possibly a space side. Pear drops I'm getting off of this. Yeah, it seems like Whiskey Geek Ben said, it's hitting that one characteristic of a distillery, and that's what kind of made it sing to me. And it was the only one that I was like, this is the category I'm sure of, / not sure of.
I love it. And it's nice because you're at the point where there's only 2 left. You're not following the crowd here, Vin. You're just going with what you've already committed to. So
I've written it down.
Yeah, absolutely. We get it. Jimmy Legg has bought me a wee dram. Cheers to you, Jimmy. It's always amazing. You're always very generous, buddy. But he's asking, has Andy joined the Peaky Blinders? Well, actually, Andy's about 2 hours north of where Peaky Blinders is set. But I do like the style, Andy. I do like it's the youth. It's the fact that you still have hair in your head and there's still colour in that hair.
Yeah, it's a stick on though. Do you know what I mean?
It's all stick on.
Yeah.
I think, Jimmy, would you agree with me that he suits it though, fella? Let me know what you think. I think he's looking well.
I'll take any like constructive feedback appreciated.
All you need is the Gatsby cap and the stern look. You smile too much for Peaky Blinders. Andy Pierce is saying, just seeing the bottles involved, I can see how tough this challenge would be. I don't think anyone can disgrace themselves tonight, but how they have ranked him will be interesting. And Captain Bamis is saying, time for me to slip away. I'll catch the rest on the replay. Utterly fantastic stuff. Have a great holiday. Happy summer, Barfly. Slant you, Captain Bamis. I look forward to welcome you back in late August, my friend. Thanks for hanging out. And Andrew, I agree with you, but remember, the challenge, so much of this is about encouraging you guys to enjoy your whiskey a wee bit more too, and to relax a bit with it and know that you might be surprised what I've put in this lineup tonight. Finally, we're looking for the brand new Highland Distillery. So a process of elimination, Scotty, green, yellow, red, blue. You've put down that as pink.
Yeah, and it's only because I think there's some sherry influence going on there. And I just thought that maybe a new distillery might be, doing a wee bit of a mixture of casks.
Active cask.
Yeah, and just to kind of, but that was the only reason that I chose pink.
Okay, I think Julie and Andy are bizarrely synchronous tonight. You've both gone red, is that right?
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
What's made you think that red is a new distillery, Julie?
I think that the new distilleries are playing around with yeast types and things like that. So this is so fruity and tropical and insane. Like I think that it's whiskey that I think is younger, but has got a really interesting backbone to it because people are doing
you
different
can taste the fermentation room in this whiskey, right? You can taste. It's like sticking your face in a washback.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I get it. It's that kind of
it's like passion
ripe
fruit
fruit.
and mangoes, and it's just,
Yeah.
I really like it. I really hope it's a £35 budget one.
So you can go out and grab yourself a bottle, right?
So we can buy cases of it. It's great.
Fantastic. Andy, would you agree with Julie? Is that why you've picked it, or?
Do you know what? I'll be honest, cards on the table. The reason I picked it is because it's not like anything I've tried before. And I know there's a couple of distilleries up there that I've not got around to trying. There's one of them. No, I'm not going to say it because I'm like an idiot. But there's what Julie said, though. I'm going to pick up on what you just said there about yeast experimentation. Because a note I made on my
Just say it,
tasting
Andy,
notes.
you've got Danny Hebbington in here buying me a dram to talk about how you look like a para who could take goose green. You're not going to look like an idiot. You're looking like a hero. Say the words. What do you think it is? What do you
I'll
think?
take that. Well, the thing is, I've never tried a whiskey from this distillery before, but I've got a bottle on the way. And what I probably say is, Julie, what you said about the yeast stuff, it reminded me a little bit of the Loch Lomond 12, the open with the Chardonnay yeast from a couple of years back. That was fantastic. It had that really fruitiness, and my notes were just all fruit. It was all like rhubarb, melon, passion fruit and stuff like that. It's mental. I'm going to go with, I've never actually heard anyone say it out loud, so I really apologise if I pronounce it wrong. Glenwivis?
And is that
Glenwivis?
what's leading you there? Is it intelligence that you have about what they're doing with yeast at Glenwivis? Or?
I don't think the word intelligence can ever be used when it comes to me, though, to be fair. I'm kind of piggybacking on what Julie said, to be honest, but also it's probably, I've had the privilege of trying Inchdarney. And I know that's one of the new ones as well. You caught me out with the King's Barnes last time, so I'm not falling for that trap again.
Sorry, man.
And yeah, it's kind of a bit of a process of elimination, really, because I know that's one of the sort of ones that got released recently and kind of doing a little bit of 4D chess. Probably to my demise, to be fair, but let's sod it, yeah. Glenwivis, something or other. Why not?
That means, none of the other guys are going to go red because they've all used the reds up, but green, red, pink, blue. So yellow for Ben Whiskey Diary. You've put yellow as the new distillery. Any comments on that? Was there anything obvious that made you, or is that process elimination or what?
Like, kind of for the same reasons. For me, I got loads of tropical notes from it, but then I got some like tea kind of stuff going on the tail end. So for me, that kind of shows there's still new makey notes, like there's still spirity notes with the tropical stuff going on, the bright fruitiness, but then like in parallel you've got these they're not tannic, but they're heading down that side, which kind of feels like they're trying to throw some really active casks at some bright young spirit to try and get something out quick that's still good. And all of these were good, but to me, it kind of felt like there's parallel flavors that haven't fully married yet. So, but for me, that was on the yellow. Like that wasn't on the red. That was on yellow.
Got you. No, it makes perfect sense. And you're right. It's very bright. It's fresh, and it is definitely fruity. So that leaves us with Vin and Ben. Vin, how did you get on? We're almost done with this round. I can put you out your misery and just tell you what you're drinking soon. Tell us, Vin, what did you put down as the new distillery here?
So I've gone for green on this, mainly because I was getting a lot of like hay and malty character that you get with fairly youthful whiskey. It's a good indicator. It's not always true, but it's a good indicator. And I didn't get that on the other one. So as soon as I heard the word new, that was just an easy one for me to apply to. And then the rest of them just sort of filtered in. So yeah, there's a bit of a thing you can do if you stick your finger in and rub it in your hands, you can get an idea of the cask character. And And for me, that brings out all that kind of biscuity maltiness. So yeah, go with it. Go with it.
Green. And I can deduce then, Whiskey Geek Ben, you've spent your pink, your red, your blue, your green, so you're left with yellow. The two Bens are in agreement for the last one, buddy. Yeah. You think that's the new Highland?
Yeah, it sings of solvent, spirit driven. It sings of someone who's kind of proud of their spirit as well. They're trying to showcase it, and rather than smothering it in cask, they're actually kind of pleased with what they've done, and so they're presenting it. So for me, it was either a distillery who's new on the block, because it does chime as somewhat new but nice new, as in young, or an independent single cask, but that's been watered down, like some of the Douglas Lang Old Provenance style of whiskies.
Fantastic, terrific. Well, I've been keeping your scores. You are not able to keep your scores because you don't have a clue what's right and what's wrong at this point. We want to keep it that way just a wee bit longer. Loved it. I loved the feedback. I loved your way of talking about the whiskey, the reason why you're picking it. It's not just a case of throwing darts like Andy's suggesting is the case. It's not. It's you're thinking and you're coming up with rationale behind the things. And even if you've got these things wrong, it resonates with me. Everything that you've been saying is resonating. Some of you have knocked it out the park with some of your picks. None of you have covered yourself in glitter. And none of you, because of those very notes, that feedback, that insight that you're giving us, have covered yourself in mud either. So it's time to share what you've been drinking so that I can send you off for a wee few minutes. I can hang out with the lounge while you try and do a semi-blind matchup. There's going to be noise. I'm going to keep everybody on for this. I was going to use the screen share, but your expressions will be too small for people to pick it up. So I'm going to bring the bottles on live instead. I'm going to drop in a link so that everybody can see what these bottles are. You guys know. You're already talking about it. Simon Ray saying this is always fascinating. Really feel for these guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, Simon.
Cheers, mate.
Simon, maybe one day we can have you on, fella, as well, and you can put your hat in the ring as well. We're all feeling it. This is why it's good to do this, because it encourages other people to not worry about feeling foolish about whiskey. We should all be able to say, I got it wrong, and then enjoy it when we get it right. But no, even when we get it right, that whiskey is just waiting round the corner to take our trousers down all over again. It's part of the fun. It's part of the flavour chase. Whiskey is so varied, so complex. It changes. The same whiskey changes every night of the week. Would everybody agree that if I gave you the same set of whiskies tomorrow night, you'd come up with a different set of preferences, a different set of notes?
Totally.
Yep.
This is intended to be fun.
Yeah.
Let's have some serious fun now, though, because I'm going to show you what the bottles are. And sorry, who's that? Who's
that was nervous? Me.
Oh,
that was me.
All of us.
Could have been any of us, though. Yeah.
All right.
Just show the bottles already.
Hurry up.
The first bottle that you have to match its colour. I've taken a wee sticky dot off, so you're not going to see this.
Oh.
Is Wireworks.
Yeah,
this is not the original Wireworks. This is the small batch. This is the second release from Wireworks. Slightly lower ABV this time. Still using STR and bourbon casks, 46.2%. I was going to ask if anybody's picked up any peat tonight. This one is lightly peated, but not for me. But I suffer from peat blight, so do not listen to me. Do not listen to me at all. So clearly, that's our English whiskey, but I'm asking you which colour it is. Here we go with our next one. This is Glenlivet.
Oh.
No.
Well, it depends on what colour it is, Andy. So before you get your swagger and goose green thing on.
This is me hiding, mate. This ain't swagger.
Right. This is Glenlivet. Again, this is not the inaugural. I couldn't get an inaugural And I guess I can't afford it now. It's about 300 quid, I think. But this is just out. I think this is still expensive for a new whiskey, £62.50. Most Scotch new whiskies are a bit less than that. They're running a different model up there. They're community funded. Maybe that's something to do with it. But I spent the money on it. And at first opening, I thought, this is good whiskey. This is going to be interesting. I had no idea how interesting it was going to get. Next up, we have Thompson Brothers SRV5 blended malt whiskey. This is their 8-year-old. This is made in a Solera vat. They've got a 1,200 litre vat. They only ever empty it down to leaving a third in it, so it's only ever partially emptied. When they do an outturn from it, around about this release was 800 bottles. I think it's going to be an 800 bottle release every time. It's going to be interesting to see how this progresses over time. Fantastic concept. Fantastic whiskey, £35. This is your £35 whiskey from Thompson Brothers.
Lovely.
There's always new whiskey, isn't there? Always new whiskey to choose. My premium pick, and I think this is just gorgeous. Everybody I pour it for seems to think it's gorgeous too. Don't know what you guys thought of it tonight, but this is 15-year-old Speyburn.
Okay.
46% ABV, all natural. They tell us on the label that they don't add colour, and they tell us that it's natural. So it's non-chill filtered as well. I love this whiskey. I'm getting turned through a hell of a lot of it. This is my third bottle in the space of 12 months. It's not because I'm guzzling it. I'm enjoying it and I'm drinking it. It's so much to do with me sharing it and asking other people's opinion. This is a crowd pleaser. It's something that can engage a whiskey geek. I love the weight of it. I love how robust the spirit is here. I think this is a fantastic whiskey, but more amazing than anything, it's a 15-year-old all-natural product for about 55 to 60 quid tops, sometimes even cheaper than that. And finally tonight is our single cask pick, which is a Dramface Barnstormer, one of the highest scoring whiskies. Scotty's got his head in his hands. He's like, oh no. This is a Cadenhead's Authentic Collection, single cask, Manickmore, 13 years old, 54.3% ABV. And this was like wildfire around the Dramface back office. Word got out there. We all squirreled a bottle away. I've since popped mine, and I'm very glad to have it here. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it very, very much. The theme here, I can reveal now, these are all whiskies that I talked about 1 week ago on the vPub.
Oh my God.
3 of them was, I'm talking about whiskies that have struck me this year, significantly struck me from a value perspective, an availability perspective, an interesting perspective. And 2 of them were uncorkings that I did. And if I uncork a whiskey in the vPub, you're not getting a review. You're getting a first impression. So the intention is to share it as a part of a blind challenge tonight so you can get an impression from everyone and not just Aqua Vitae. And then the other 3 that I'm telling you are compelling whiskies, the same. You're getting opinions from not just one person. You can have other folks say, aye, for that money, that's a good whiskey. That's the intention. Guys, that's what you are trying to match up tonight. I'm going to leave you in the background while I hang out with the lounge. How many minutes do you think you'll need? Hold up minutes on your hands to tell me.
I'm done already. I'm done. Let's do it.
Done and dusted. Done and dusted. Have you any whiskey left in the glass, Finn?
Yep. Still got them here. But I'd like to say, I haven't tried any of these before.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm kind of dreading the Wireworks
You're not
one.
expected to do well because of experience and familiarity with the whiskey. That's not about. It's just about I like these whiskies. I think these are good value. I think this is interesting, terrific, whatever it may be. Guys, I'll give you a few minutes. Andy,
Okay.
Yep.
did you get that Glenwivis thing right? It'd be amazing, wouldn't it, buddy? I'll let you contemplate it a wee bit more.
Please don't leave me alone with my own thoughts.
Always go with your gut, big guy. I'll leave you in the background. Ben, Whiskey Diary, good luck, my friend. Enjoy thinking about it. Julie, go and commit. Go and commit. Ben, oh dear. No, don't sweat it, big guy. Don't sweat it.
I don't even think I've had anything from these distilleries before. Never mind these specific whiskies.
That's why you come in the vPub. That's why you're here. So good luck, buddy. Good luck. Vin, Do your very, very best. Scotty, every day's a school day, big guy. Enjoy.
I've got this.
Terrific. Be careful with your comments in the chat, please. These guys probably have got the comments up, and not because they want to cheat or anything, but because they're hanging out with us. So please be careful. The faces of the candidates are fabulous to watch, says Falsgraph. Thank you so much, buddy. These are all great whiskey folk and friends of mine too. It does me no service to try and embarrass these guys or anything. I'm amazed that these guys just step up every time after time, and say, blind challenge, I ain't bother, send the drams out, Roy. Highland Hamish is saying, great to see the Highlands in the mix. Glenwivis and the Thompson's blend. Absolutely, Hamish. You're spot on, my friend. Chris Pollack is saying, any thoughts about inviting the Thompson brothers for a vPub? I chatted about it very, very briefly when I was out in Limburg, but we never nailed anything down. There's lots of time for these things. Those guys are doing amazing things, and as the years tick by, it's only going to get more amazing, and there's going to be more stuff to talk about. Justin Wan is saying, shame that the Speyburn 15 is the only bottle I can get. No idea what the others taste like. Justin, I know it's tough, but the point of this is not about, oh, buy this whiskey, buy this. The point of this whole thing is to say, prices are going nuts. Availability is becoming a scrum for certain distilleries, certain products, certain releases. There's a panic and there's a kind of quickening happening all the time. I think it's starting to soften a little bit. Maybe we're in the summer lull, or maybe things are starting to stick a wee bit more on the shelves and there's less of a scrum for things. But my point is that there should never be that scrum, because there's always brilliant whiskey. How do you find it? You hang out in a community and you talk and you share what you've discovered and you share what you're enjoying. Justin, right now, you might not be able to get these things where you are, but these things and things very like them, close to them, are coming. Don't be tempted to pay through the nose from gouging, short-term minded strategies that are bad for us as whiskey customers, but they're bad for whiskey too. Just because you can charge something does not mean you should. All of these whiskies are available and nobody's beating each other up for them. Macallan Fine and Rare is saying, found the Speyburn 15 for €51. Fantastic, £43. Graham Fraser is saying, wow, I guess the new dram is... He's saying, Graham Fraser is saying, wow, I guess the new dram is Glenwivis without tasting it. I may be a whiskey clairvoyant. Absolutely. Terrific stuff. Well, it's a new Highland distillery, and it's probably not going to be Ardnamurchan. You know, there's less of a choice, right? So Glenwivis, but still, good guess, Graham. Absolutely. Chris SBWE is saying, hello, and hello, the Barflies. I'm late. Work has been crazy. Chris, I hope if you think you've missed anything, you'll be able to pick it up on the replay, buddy. But it's all been good fun. Miguel is saying, Andy's facial expressions priceless. No doubt I'll display these at my wedding in a week's time. And Justin is saying, really appreciate that. I've just got to get over my FOMO. I hope so, but I'm fighting FOMO as well all the time, Justin. I really am. There's things that I see and I'm like, ooh. And then you're like, so you just look at the whiskey that you have and say, hey, there's lots of whiskey. Jeff Whiskey saying, a brilliant pick me up this evening, Roy, after a long week. Cheers. Fantastic. I did miss something coming in. Did I pick that up? It's a Dramface, my friend Alistair McPhail. How could I have almost missed that? Thank you so much, buddy. Spinning in a chair, a wee hippo spinning in a chair, a wee sticker. Alistair, I did ask you last week, but I didn't have picked it up. Are you in Addis Ababa? Where are you? Where are you in the planet right now? Cheers to you, my friend. I'm sipping the green, and I do enjoy it. Jeff Whiskey is saying, strange seeing Scotty in the face. Scotty's been on a few pubs, Jeff, but he's maybe not been on for a wee while. Busy boy at work is our Scotty, but I'm glad you're enjoying. Drew was saying, how's this not a Biana Peel laden blind tasting? Well, it isn't. It's all, if you've picked up, it's all me sharing whiskies with you that I believe demonstrate that we don't need to get stressed over. Even the things that it's difficult to get, like the Manickmore single cask, right? There's indies bringing out outturns day after day after day after day. Some of them sell out, but who's queuing up and fighting for Manickmore? and it's fabulous. It's amazing. And it's amazing even more to us because it's Manickmore. Who's, you know, there isn't even a brand associated with it. It's just a distillery. And it's capable of producing one of the highest scores that's ever been achieved on Dramface. I think this one got an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. It was certainly way up there. And people were loving it for £69. Let's see if the guys can pick it out tonight. Are you bringing any of these to Texas? I doubt it, Zach. I do doubt it, buddy. I don't know what I'm bringing to Texas yet. I still need everything to go perfectly for me to make it to Texas this year. So keep your fingers crossed for me, buddy. Jimmy Jazz, good to see you. Looking forward to catching up with Peter Lee tonight. We'll do the pose, take a photo, and have a dram, says Jimmy Jazz. So you're meeting Peter Lee tonight, Jimmy Jazz in Boston. That's amazing. That's incredible. More barfly hookups happening all the time. Terrific stuff. I just hit the space bar and brought Scotty in. Sorry, I spotted swigging a dram. That was quite incredible. Scotty, I didn't.
Hello.
Just hitting the space bar brings you in. Sorry, buddy. I'm so glad he was swigging a whiskey and not picking his nose. Prestige Liquid. Andrew is saying you really know how to bring fear into the hearts of a whiskey lover. Not at all, buddy. I think these guys are having fun. And Falscraft is saying this is definitely not making fun of those folks. I'm also still confused. Contrarily, it's good to see that folks with finer palates and more background knowledge are still puzzled. That's exactly the point. I would be the very, very same and a hell of a lot worse too, Falscraft. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, Klaus. Chris is saying hello and hello to the barflies. I'm late. Work has been crazy. Oh, I mentioned that earlier, I think, Chris. I caught that one. And just as it jumps, Pedro Menezes is saying, tasted my first Manickmore a few weeks ago and was amazed as well. Terrific, Pedro. Lots and lots of new whiskies. And a small dram for Scotty from Justin Wan. Cheers to you, Justin. I'm sure you'll appreciate it. If I hit the space bar, you'll be able to raise a glass. Hey! Terrific. Thank you, Justin. Thanks so much. I don't know why the spacebar is only bringing in Scotty Monroe. Everyone is saying, I don't know. Every time you evangelize whiskey, I feel necessary to find it. Looks like Speyburn 15 is on my list. Damn you, Roy. Speyburn 15 should be on your list. I love it. I don't want to talk about why I love it because I'm just going to kind of trample all over what these guys are doing in the background. Jimmy Legg is saying the moose responds to all space, even the space bar. Absolutely. We've lost one of our folk. There's only 5 of us in. It looks like we've got both our Bens. We've got Julie. We've got Scott, Vin. It's Andy at Maltbox. I think Andy's battery might have gone flat or let him down. So let's give him a minute to see if he's going to pop back in again. I think I might have missed a dram here. I did. John Manning has bought me a dram, saying enjoy your summer holidays, Roy. Thank you so much, John. That's a very generous drama friend, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you. Cheers to you. And Dribs and Drams over in Canada is saying no review posted this week due to gigs coming up, so practicing a ton. But I just shot the Nika from the barrel and loved it. 500 mils for $66 though. Nika from the barrel, I think it's a tremendous whiskey. For me, it's always been super okay, sweet and very leaning towards very bourbon-esque flavor profile. But the extra ABV helps make that shine and display a wee bit at 54%. I think it's a decent dram, buddy. And I don't know if you're suggesting that 500 ml for $66. I think that's probably Canadian dollars, which is about 35, 40 quid at the most, I think. So it's pretty good value. I think we pay a lot more for that here. But thanks for the dram, buddy. Cheers to you. And I hope that I've caught up with all my comments and drams from you guys. Andrew Butler is saying, if I hadn't already bought Speyburn 18. Yeah, I like the Speyburn 18, but it's even more over the sherry end of the spectrum. I know it changes. They almost embrace batch variation. I love it. Anok and Speyburn, the siblings, they seem to just go with it. The colour changes a wee bit. Don't sweat. It's always great whiskey. My favourite Speyburn 15 was the lightest in colour. But the Speyburn 15 is just a little bit more vibrant for me, Andrew. If you can pick it up for 50 to 60 quid tops, 55. I picked mine up for 53 from one of the biggest online retailers. Honestly, I think you might be quite surprised and enjoy it. And Graham Fraser saying a Manickmore Flora and Fauna is the most easily available and affordable version of Manic Mort. I agree. 43% though. Can you imagine how amazing that would be if Flora and Fauna was natural? I know I've been on that soapbox multiple times. I've currently got 2 Andys in here, 2 Andy from Malt Boxes. There's 2 of them at the same time. I'm just going to go with the one that's moving, and the one that's frozen I'll ignore. Terrific. So let's bring Andy back in. I wonder what will happen if I hit the space bar now. He disappears again. Terrific. There's also these shortcuts to discover tonight, buddy. You're committed. Are you committed?
I probably should be committed somewhere. Yeah, I think so. I think so, mate. I think
Fantastic. So. Let's bring in Scotty, who's laughing as well because he wasn't on the space bar that time. Vin as well, guys. I hope that you're all committed. I know that you are, Vin, because you're beforehand. I'm going to suggest Julie and Ben are the 2. Ben Whiskey Diary looks confident. I'll bring Ben Whiskey Diary in. No, he's not confident, but he's committed. You're committed,
yeah,
right?
I'm committed, but definitely not confident.
Okay, superb. And I'm going to bring in Julie. Is that okay, Julie? Should I bring you in? Yeah, she's saying aye, okay, go with it. And I'm going to bring in Whiskey Geek Ben. We are all in now. Oh, Ben. Don't be disappointed, buddy. Luna is saying, okay, despite the reveal coming up soon, I have an early and long day tomorrow. Good night, Barflies and Roy. Well, now that I've got all these guys in here, what I'm going to do is grab the reveal and I'm going to drop it in so that everybody can see it out there with that link I've been sharing. So if I go in here, and refresh, and hopefully you guys should be able to use this exact same link and you're able to see the semi-blind matchup. Sugar Kitty is still sharing. Thanks so much, Sugar Kitty. Thank you for I should just relax and leave it to you. Let me know that that's coming through okay and you can see the reveal. We're about to share the reveal here. So we've got Team Dramface and we've got, let's pull Dramface up the top. Let's pull our YouTube channels down the bottom and let's see how we're getting on with the semi-blind matchup. So I'm just going to tell you what color they are. And I'm just going to show you the colors and I'm going to watch your reactions. So here we're going to see heads dropping or we're going to see fists pumping or you can just do that, right? Okay, let's start with our a surprise entry tonight. This is Glenwivis. Okay, this is our new Highlander. Clearly that was the category. That was the one I was after. Glenwivis is your red dram. Oh, look at that. Andy from Maltbox not only does the job, but picks it out as Glenwivis.
Well done.
And he's no even tried it. Just based on that, the things that he talked about, the things that he shared when he talked about the youthfulness, when he talked about the fermentation, the fruit, the kind of characters that fermentation is going to bring in. You're pointing your pen, Andy, yes?
Yeah, I've got to give Julie some credit, particularly for the fermentation part. Absolutely. I think for me, it just stood out because I know that it's a Scotch distillery I've not tried yet. There's a new distillery I've not tried, and I've tried to try as many of them as I can. And it's bonkers, and none of them have made that kind of impression so far. A lot of the new ones have been good, but nothing's been that wacky.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and let's dwell on this for a second. It's wacky in a very good way. Right?
Absolutely.
This has blown my mind. Right. So
Insane.
Red was my first my top drama of the night, and it has been all the way through. Right. And I was thinking even a Bowmore because of the fruity and the tropical notes.
Yeah.
An old school one.
Finish. And then when you talked about Manic Mort, I thought, I never got that a bottle from Cadenheads. That's what that is. I don't care how much that costs. I'm buying a bottle tonight. Job done. That's a fantastic brand.
Well, if you could get a bottle of Glenwivis, well, I think it's still available. 62 quid. Royal Mail Whiskies definitely had it in stock today because I was on looking for a second bottle.
Honestly, that's just, it was blew my mind.
So good.
Game over.
So good.
Game over.
Good. Fantastic, fantastic. And it's good to see that it performed pretty well. If I pull up I'm not going to do the screen share, everybody can see it. But the red one, especially among Team Dramface, Scotty picked it as his favourite, and Julie and Andy picked it as their second favourite. So Glenn Withers kicked out the park there.
Yeah.
YouTube mid to end, the reds at the end of the tail end of things there, but that's still, as we say, all of the whiskies have been enjoyed tonight. Did anybody can I have a hands up from anybody who found a whiskey that was a bit bogging tonight, or they didn't like it?
No.
Ben, go ahead. Tell us, what one did you not enjoy? Ben, Whiskey Geek.
Well, I feel like I should keep my mouth shut now, but it was red.
No, you shouldn't keep your mouth shut. You shouldn't, because one person's opinion, it's a much richer tapestry when everybody chimes in. What put you off about red?
I initially found it quite harsh, solventy, heady. There was a bitter, sour funk that persisted throughout. And it did, after I let it settle for a long time, it settled on a fruitiness with some underlying plasticine or linseed oil, which typically puts me off a whiskey. And then when I transitioned to the palate, I don't know whether it's because I had to leave it to air for that long to make the nose appealing. The palate was just gone. It was empty. But I've poured the rest of the bottle whilst I've been sitting here, and I haven't found it any different. It just, I don't find the excitement that you guys are. So it's like I've got a different sample to you based on.
I don't think so, buddy. And I think what could be the kit you talked about earlier tonight, that you weren't fully feeling the whiskies at the start. But that's not to take anything away with what you just said. Everything you've said is valid. And I've been all over the place with this whiskey. It's so Moorish to me because every sip it switches up, it's changing, and it's like, oh, this is really good, this is interesting. And another one is, okay, this is still raw and spirity, and it just takes you on this kind of bizarre up and down journey. I think, ironically, and I mean this genuinely, I'm not trying to make puns here, this is a geek's whiskey. This is an interesting whiskey. I know your Whiskey Geek channel. This is an interesting whiskey that's going to draw you in time after time. Ben, if you want a wee bit more, because you want to spend a bit more time with it, I'll send you as much down as you like, buddy. I think it's one of those whiskies that's going to just keep switching up and playing in the glass. Well, I will admit, though, that out of the 5 tonight, I put it 5th. But wow. I want to explain why it went in. And it's, listen, it was up and down. It was like everything was in motion here, like it always is. But I had to commit, and I ended up in last place, just for the record. Anyway.
Can I check with you? Is it the 0218 8,000 bottles, 2002, 46.5%?
Absolutely. So it's very confusing because the vintage distillation, so they put 2018 on the label, so they put 2018, right, on the label. But if you look at the batch number, which is going to be hard to get the camera to focus on it, but I'm going to give it a try. Here we go. 0218 is the batch, but it looks like a typo all the time because you look and it's 2018 on the label. But 0218, 62 quid, 62.50 or something, Julie, right? That's what it is.
It's a lot. It's a lot on it.
59.95 from the distillery, and it's a 4.95 delivery.
Well,
going right, isn't
it?
Yeah.
Either the prices dropped. I'm trying to think where I bought this. I think I might have bought this from the distillery.
Maybe 64.90, 64.90 including.
Oh, right, okay. I think I paid 62.50, and I can't remember where I bought it, but I'm glad to have it. I think it's very interesting. Anyway, let's move on to the next. What am I doing here? Am I revealing colours? What time is it? Am I going to go, oh no? No way.
You need to get going, man.
I'm just going to tell you what the colours are, and then we're going to go to the quiz, and that's it. I need to get in my bed. This is ridiculous.
You need to run to the gate, mate.
The English whiskey was White Peaks Wireworks.
Oh.
I'm looking for your reactions. It is green.
Yay! I got that one.
Jesus Christ. I'm going for a 0 here.
This is another whiskey.
God.
This is 3-year-old whiskey. It's ridiculous that it tastes this good.
as well. I'm buying it as well. Let's do
I'm
it.
buying it as well. It's incredible whiskey for the price. I said last week there's some kind of, and I've said this about Ardnamurchan in the past as well, but I'll say it about White Peak as well. It's alchemy. What are they doing? Is it STR? Is it some kind of, is it the spirit? Is it the, I don't know. But this, and what's interesting about the second batch from White Peak, the price has come down. It's still a 60 quid whiskey, which is expensive for a young whiskey. But when the flavour's that good, we relax a little bit, right? There's always new whiskey coming, right? It's amazing. This is two brand new distilleries that's not even shown us their full colours yet. They're still running about in their nappies and they're bringing just such amazing things. All right. More amazing things coming from Thompson Brothers, right? 35 quid for this excellent, interesting, vatted Solera style whiskey. Thompson Brothers is our yellow.
Oh, yes.
3 for 3. I'm doing okay.
Team Dramface have got their tail in the air. Absolutely, they're killing it. Listen, yellow didn't do the best tonight. It was probably the weakest of the lineup, scoring 13 points out of the 5.
Still good though.
It's so good. This is a 35 quid whiskey, and an interesting whiskey with an interesting concept behind it, and the promise or the intrigue that it could get better. Amazing. Let's keep going. The comments are flying. I want to jump into the comments, but I'm chatting, so I'm having a nice time. I can survive on 3 hours sleep, can't I? I'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
If my wife is watching now, you'll hear the footsteps coming down the stairs. Anyway, our single cast tonight was the Manickmore 13-year-old from Cadenhead's Authentic Collection, and it was blue.
Oh, thank God, I've got a score at last.
Yay! Which means by process elimination that our premium 15-year-old, and I love this whiskey dearly, I'm tearing through it, 51, 52, 53, 55 quid for 15-year-old amazing whiskey. This goes toe-to-toe with your aged premium Tamdus, your aged premium Glengoynes, Glenfarclasses. It takes all of them on, and I think brings something more. There's a weight to this. There's a robustness to this that at certain times reminds me of Mortlach. I love this whiskey. I think it's incredible. And of course, it's our pink whiskey tonight. So let's just get this out of the way, play the quickest game of Is That a Speyside that we've ever played, and see how we're scoring as a team. I'm going to do this randomly to try and not dwell on any particular person. Let's go in opposite back to front order. Vin from No Nonsense Whisky, give me your score out of 10. If you would like to text it to me privately instead.
Own it.
Right.
I've always own it. No, it's been a stark decline from that first initial thing, and I'm keeping with that low bar.
Dear.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10, and it was all on the blue. I got the single cask, and that was it. Bomb.
So you'd locked in the single cask and you got it right, and that's means the other two you're flipping round. And I noticed as you were talking, there was 2 that you'd clearly switched. I think I even made notes about it, but you'd clearly switched 2 round back to front. And I thought, oh dear, I hope he can work that out in the next time round. Ben, Whiskey Geek, how did you score this evening?
3 out of 10. The first round was a complete waste. I may as well have not turned up.
Do you know what? If you turned up tonight and scored a donut and got nothing, your average would have still been the highest in the room because of the ridiculously high scores that you've had in the past. This is a good thing to happen, buddy, because it shows everybody that even, I mean, generally, Ben, the way you go around whiskey, how meticulous you are, the way you appraise whiskey, it's canny and considered and really fascinating. I learn watching Ben Whiskey Geek every single video. I think to expect that to be that 10 out of 10 performance that you've had here in this room and the 10 out of 10 that you've had here live in the past to be every time, it's not reasonable, is it? I do think that you're anatomically, you have an advantage. I genuinely do. Taste
Well.
buds, super taster. I don't know what it is. What we were doing tonight doesn't demonstrate that. What we were doing tonight is just playing a fun game of matchup and trying to pick this from that. The way you assessed all the whiskies tonight was still bang on and on point. Your average is still off the scale. Let's go up to Ben, Whiskey Diary, a debut for you. Did I scare you? Might you come back again? Share your score.
I think a 6. But I wrote so many notes, I've confused myself.
Well, I'll tell you what you scored on the... What did you score on the back? What did you score on the blind, semi-blind matchup?
Right. So I'm trying to read my notes. I'm going to text you my notes, and you can go from there.
Right, okay. Well, I tell you what, you scored 3 on the challenges.
Yeah, so and they were 1-1. So if I got one right, I got both right.
Right, that's a 6 out of 10.
I got a 6 then.
So did I scare you? Would you come back and do this again?
It was terrifying, honestly, but I've loved it.
Right,
But it was
good.
terrifying.
That's the point. That's the point of it all. So we have 11 as our score for WhiskyTube tonight. No disgrace in that. You're in double figures, boys. Well done. Now let's see if the lads and lassies wearing the Team Dramface mask can match that. I have to say their tails feathers were high. Oh, your poker face. Okay, Andy from Maltbox.
Yeah, I'm in a bit of a Ben predicament as well. I am just not very good at taking notes, to be honest. So I think I might have a 6 out of 10. I mean, I matched the Glenwithers with the red, the white wicks with the green in the last bit. Yeah, I think 6. Might
You
be.
scored on the challenges. You scored 3.
Right.
And so did you get 3 in the back 9 on the second half?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I think so.
6
Yes.
out of 10. A good start. Julie, let's go over to you.
I got 8.
Oh my goodness! So you've matched all of your semi blinds up.
I matched all the semi blinds up. I can't believe I managed to. That was, yeah. There you go.
I have to tell you, YouTube, you're already in trouble before Scotty seals the deal. Julie, well done. 8. Good stuff tonight. Scotty, how did you get on, fella?
I did okay. I got a 6, which I'm quite pleased about.
6 out of 10. So that takes us to, for the Dramface team, 20. Oh, well done tonight for Team Dramface. YouTube took the plaudits last time in December. Tonight, it's Dramface that goes home with the higher aggregate score. Let's just summarize this. Let's just talk about this before you all do your fist bumps and or throw your heads into your hands, whatever it is. What you did tonight is encourage everybody that's watching to pour their whiskies blind, to get somebody to pour their whiskies blind. Even if they're only drinking 2 whiskies and there's nobody around to pour them blind, pour the 2 whiskies and mix them up so you don't know which is which and try it and match it up. It's the most fascinating fun you might not be having in whiskey right now. Would you agree?
100%.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
If you just for no other reason than to let whiskey give you a wee red face. It's what it's all about. Listen, if any one of you YouTube channels want to do the same thing and invite me on, I'm there. I want to do this. I want to participate, and I don't care if I end up with a donut with nothing. I just want to have the fun of it. I want to have the fun of enjoying the whiskey and seeing where it leads us. And Team Dramface, no bad. No bad.
Good effort, guys.
Well done.
Yeah, well done, well done. Is anybody
done.
up? Is anybody up for a wee game of Is It a Space Side before we run into this quiz at the end and try and wrap?
Are you up for it?
I'm up for it, of course.
Do you have time?
Aye.
How long's your quiz?
we'll
What do you think?
We'll do an Is It a Space Side. Where's my bottle that I've got for? Oh, it's here. I've still got my Is It a Space Side bottle handy. So here's we're going to play it. Team Dramface, you know what this is about. I am the distillery game. So you're all gonna. Everybody in the lounge plays along with this. By the way, if you think you know what the distillery is, you just say it in the lounge. You're playing for a coin as well. Hopefully, Helen and Andy are still in because they are helping me administer who I send these coins to. But for you guys in here, the team, you've got one bid. You can have one guess. You can say it on the first clue, or you can wait till the end to say it. But you've got one chance, and you're playing for your team. So each team has 3 chances each. Okay? You can hold your water till close to the end and then say what you think it is. Or you can go early and go for the sniper, all right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to come to you randomly and ask you. You're all working together for questions, and you've all got to be in on it, each other. Okay, let's bring up this counter so I can keep track. 10 questions. I can only answer yes or no. I've got a core range single malt Scotch whiskey off screen. And you've got 10 questions to try and work out what it is, everybody. You guys are playing in the lounge as well. Before we start, I've missed a couple of drams. Mamuka 1977 has bought me a dram to say cheers to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Mamuka. Thank you for joining us for the last vPub. Young Goes has bought me a dram as well. Great stuff, Dramface and YouTube. The real winners are all of us watching. That's a nice sentiment, Young. Thank you so much. I think I'm a winner. The fact that I can hang out with these guys and do these fun things. I agree with you, Young. Thanks very much. Jimmy Legg is saying Julie, Moose, and that other guy, Andy. Victory, Dramface. Cheers, Jimmy Legg. Thanks to you. Thanks to everybody for your generous drafts. He's happy to be known as Maltbox, and he does have another alias, but we won't be telling anybody what that is, will we, Andy?
No, we will not.
I don't even know if anybody can see who I am. Let's, as a wee treat, bring in Rob, who's now Whiskey Novice. Jim is in as well. They didn't have drams tonight, but they can play along. Can we bring in Rob quickly? Rob, are you good? He's pulling out whiskies. Here we have Rob. Let me ditch this for a second. So we've got our other Team Dramface member.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
So sorry that you never got your whiskey tonight, buddy. When it does turn up, I hope you enjoy it.
I'm sure there's a postman wandering around somewhere having the time of his life.
Yeah, I know. And if you don't get them, if something's happened there, I'm happy to send you down the 5 drams so you can play it along. And we've got Jim as well, Whiskey Novice. Jim, buddy, so good to see that you made it. You've come along for the game of Visit a Speyside. And
where were you, Jim? Where were you?
No, you were needed tonight, Jim. You were needed. My goodness, listen, Jim in Northern Ireland didn't get his drams either. It's frustrating, I know. Guys, maybe there's something that'll come out of this, but certainly the reason I couldn't get it organised quicker is I did the vPub last week, and the very blind challenge I was putting together was based on those whiskies of last week. So it was one of those ones that was always going to be packed up and shipped at reasonably short notice. So I'll take the responsibility for this one again, guys, but I hope you're still going to be able to enjoy it when they do arrive in the end. Just to introduce you to everybody, we've got Whiskey Novice Jim Ingram from Northern Ireland over the channel. You've seen Jim before. He's been on multiple times, and I always love having him on. But the new face is Rob Halford. He is very much, he's not a ringer at all. He helped me build the Dramface website. I always say that the way it looks, the way it does, is down to mostly me. The way that it works and functions properly is very much down to Rob. I don't know if that would be a fair summary, buddy. But
It was a team effort.
Yeah, absolutely a team effort. And he's still there behind the desk, especially when I'm away on holiday over the next few weeks. Great to welcome you in. I hope you picked up on what the way we're going to play this. Rob, you're on Team Dramface. You've got one bid, much in the same way we play the I Am a Distillery game in the podcast, right? So you've got one bid. So you put your bid in. You're trying to get in before the other team, but you have to make sure you don't go too early. You've got one guess at it, okay? Jim, Whiskey Novice, the same. You've got it. Is it a Speyside? Everybody's playing for one of these coins. Trying to hold it up so everybody can see it. A wee glass topper. Yeah, that's all it is. A wee bit of could. Yeah, you'd think I'd be good at hitting these right buttons now.
Press the space bar.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. What happened? It was much nicer the other way, wasn't it? Yay, that's better, isn't it?
Celebrity
Can it
Squares.
buy these
Celebrity
things? You have
Squares
to
is
win them.
right.
Right, are we in good shape? Will we bring this countdown in and get this going? There's no way I'm making this last orders.
You're fine. You're fine. Let's
Who
go.
won the blind?
Fine, Roy, you're fine. Oh my goodness.
Who won the
Anyway.
blind?
We won
luck,
it, Rob.
Good
Dramface.
luck.
Yes. Right. Okay. Then we go. Then.
Right.
Dramface.
I have a single malt Scotch whiskey off camera. I'm going to come to for the first question. I'll just go down from me. Andy from Maltbox, please ask the first is it a Speyside question.
Is it a Speyside, Roy?
No. Scotty Monroe. It's not a Speyside. Scotty, give me your question.
Is it a Highland, Roy?
Yes. Yes, it is. Julie, any question you like. Now, anybody can shout in a guess at any time, as you guys can in the lounge playing along. Julie.
Is it a Diageo distillery?
No, it is not a Diageo distillery. Let's go down to Ben, Whisky Diary.
Does it have an age statement?
Yes, Ben, it has an age statement, absolutely. Let's move on down to Vin from No Nonsense Whisky.
Is the age statement 15 or more?
No, it's not Vin. Good question. Ben, Whisky Geek.
Is the distillery on the coast?
No. First time we've had that question. I like it.
That's a good one.
Rob Halford. First time playing Is It a Speyside, buddy?
Yeah. We'll go for the classic. Is it one of the big four?
It is not.
Is it a part of the big four?
Yeah. So by the big four, Rob means Diageo, Pernod Ricard, Edrington, or Grants. We count as the big four. The big five would include Beam Suntory, of course. But no, it's not one of the big four. And just by the way, ignore that whole Beam Suntory thing I just said there. Finally, Jim Ingram. James.
I'm told you have a flight in the morning, and how long can we drag this out? Is my question.
Right, you can drag it out as long as until my wife comes downstairs and switches the lights off and pulls the cable out the back. That's about it. So not very long, unfortunately. What's your question for Is It a Speyside?
Oh, everybody else was taking notes. I didn't actually bring a pen.
I've been no counters because there
No,
are
I've got
people.
10, Roy. I've
It
got 10.
was a Highland. It was under 15. It was not one of the big four.
It's a Highland under
yeah.
15-year-old age statement. It's not coastal.
Is it? It's not coastal, right? He says
It's not coastal. It's
Right.
not owned by Diageo. It's not one of the big four.
Hannock 12.
Oh, we have a bid in from Whiskey Geek Ben, who's saying Annock 12. Right, your bid's in. You're now out of the running, Ben. You've put your bid in.
Yeah, I'm putting a bid in as well. I'm going to go
Scotty?
for a Tomatin 12.
Oh, Tomatin 12. So that's Scotty put his bid in. Jim, you're still able to ask a
Jeez, I
question,
could
buddy.
win this if I say nothing. Oh man,
I'm going to panic put in as well now and say a Glengoyne 10.
Oh my goodness, a panic bid. Glengoyne 10. Now it's interesting. Nobody's asked anything about ABV. Nobody's asked anything about presentation, all the things that we like, Whiskey Geeks and all of that stuff. Not that I'm trying to lead you in any way, Ingram, but just
well, that was my next question. Is it 46% or below?
Oh, yes, it is 46% or below.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw it out. It's 46%. Because 46% or below has most of the core range from everybody, I think. So I'm just going to say 46%. So yes, and I need to... It's down to 2. So if there's any bids going to be flying in, we need to tie it in. Now remember, there can be a big 0 on that screen and you can still throw your bid in. You can use up all your questions before you put your guess in. So...
Can I throw a bid in?
Put your bid in, Jim. Go ahead.
Leanston 12.
Good one. Scotty, I'm going to come back to you. I know you've put a bid in. You can't guess anymore, but you can help your team. It's Team Dramface against Team YouTube, remember.
Oh, I've no help to anybody.
Of course.
So we have 46% ABV, non-coastal, not one of the big four. Age statement, but it's less than 15 years. It is a Highland distillery.
Okay, is it natural colour?
No. It's not natural colour.
Can I put a bid in, please, Roy?
Yes, you can, Andy from Allbox.
Can I go with Loch Lomond 12, please, Roy from Aquaviti?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that fits with everything, doesn't it? You've got one more yes or no left to use. I'm going to go with who's the most versed as a Speyside. Andy, I'm going to come back. You've put in Loch Lomond 12. What would you do to try and solidify or negate that? What question would you ask? There's one more question to ask.
Right, okay.
Is it Loch Lomond 12?
Yeah. Did Michael Henry blend it? No.
Yes, Michael Henry blended it. There you go. That's a good one. Yes, Michael Henry blended it. Are there any more bids to come in?
Is it the Inchmurrin?
Rob's said Inchmurrin.
Go on, Rob.
I'll go Inchfad.
Inchfad. Well,
Everyone's
the
inching ahead.
The peated one is Inchmone. Aye, Inchmone 12. Is that the one you mean, Julie? Aye. The core range one. Aye. Hey, there's a really good piece on Dramface that goes into all the ins and outs of the Crofton Gears, the Inchfads, the Inchmurrins, the Inchmones. It talks about all the definitions, even Roche Doux. There's a Dramface piece if anybody's interested in all the Loch Lomans. Any other bids? Anything left to sweep up? Can I just say that, and I've been looking in, it has been won and picked up in the lounge. Team Dramface with Rob Halford. It's well
done.
Yes,
well
Rob.
done. Sorry, YouTubers. Sorry, Jim. Sorry, Ben. Sorry, Ben. Sorry, Vin. The Team Dramface has been up at the bar picking the best drams tonight, I think. That doesn't mean to say that it's always going to be like that. And if it ever happens again, I bet you they would be just as ready to concede that it's every chance that the YouTube channel would take it. I'm not so sure. They're nodding, but secretly they're going, oh yeah, beauty. Sandals are being kicked off. There's behind the scenes fist bumps. Terrific stuff. Have you had fun doing this tonight? Please
Absolutely, right.
Absolutely.
Loved it.
Every time.
Do you think you're going to have fun staying for another 10 minutes to play a wee quiz at the end?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go for the hat trick, Team Dramface, or let's save some face. WhiskyTube. Remember, I'm in both you guys' camps. I'm a WhiskyTuber, and I'm also part of Dramface, of course. Let's pull out the quiz at the end. Good luck, everybody. It's always multiple choice. You're only playing against yourself. Only share the score if you want to. But for our team playing here alongside, you know the drill with a piece of paper. Grab a piece of paper, put an ABC on it. I'll give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown. You hold up your answers just for posterity, and that way you're playing along. Question 1. I'm going to go through this so fast tonight. I have to. Which of these distilleries does not feature an iconic twin pagoda roof? A. Strathearn, B. Strathmill, C. Strathyla. We're looking for the distillery here that does not have a pagoda roof. Whiskey with Molly Ben is saying Team Barflies would take this. Oh, I like the way you're thinking. The Barflies team, absolutely, Ben. Whiskey Influencer says, just wait until Team Instagram gets a chance. Oh, this is terrific. I like the way this is shaping up. Terrific stuff. I wonder who got the Inchmurrin 12 tonight. Who was the first to put in the Inchmurrin guess for as a Speyside? What do you think, guys? If you're ready, and 3, 2, 1 shows your answers.
B.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The distilleries that does not feature an iconic twin pagoda roof. The Strathearn. Founded in 2013, it looks like a barn. That's the shape of the buildings. But it's both Strathmill and Strathyla are both of the era that would have featured Doig's ventilators, and specifically they have the iconic twin pagoda roof. Both of them do. The only one that does not feature twin pagoda roofs is Strathearn. Very new distillery. Question 2. Highland Park malts 30% of its own malt requirement in-house. 30%. I was quite surprised at how much of the malt requirement is done in-house. But what is different about what it malts in-house versus the bought-in 70% remainder? Is it A, the 30% that they malt in-house is peated? B, the 30% they malt in-house is grown on Orkney? Or C, the 30% that they malt in-house is beer barley? Jimmy Legg, Instagrammers would only get question 5, the picture question. Excellent, Jimmy. Tom Elmer thinks it was Mike Molasses that picked up Inchmore 12. I've got a fly come in my open window. It's awful clammy in Glasgow tonight, isn't it? It's warm. And I've left a window open and the light's on and a fly's come in. He's not welcome. You should beat it. Whiskey influencer is saying, Jimmy Legg, don't be a hater. Nah, he's not a hater. He's just a witty man. Right, what do we think here? 3, 2, 1. I can tell you that Highland Park malts 30% of its malt, and it is all peated. All peated.
Yes.
There is beer barley, and it is grown on Orkney, but it tends to be used by the guys down in Isla at Brookladdy. Question 3. What is the most sold single malt in France? A, Auchentoshan, B, Aberfeldy, or C, Aberlour? What's the best seller in France? Anybody been to France? Tommy Elmer is saying, give me back my whiskey, you blighter. The fly. Aye, absolutely. We don't want the fly to end up in any whiskey glasses. It's one of the big flies. It's one of the big noisy things that bounces off the windows, and the ones that are really stupid, they can't see the open window. Okay, let's fly through this. I think this is a fairly easy one, I hope. 3, 2, 1. Hold up your answers. Team WhiskyTube, Team Dramface. Yeah, most of you getting this. It looks like all of you getting this absolutely right. The best-selling single malt in France is owned by Pernod Ricard, and it is indeed Aberlour. Terrific stuff. Remember, you're only keeping your own scores, guys. Question 4. The Clydeside distillery owner, Tim Morrison, had a great-grandfather that designed what? A, Tim Morrison designed kiln ventilators for distilleries. Tim Morrison designed a safety pressure valve for stills. Or C, Tim Morrison designed the building that the Clydeside distillery is actually in. What did Tim Morrison, the great-grandfather of the Clydeside, what did Tim Morrison's great-grandfather, design? Not Tim Morrison, but Tim Morrison's great-grandfather. Tim Morrison, by the way, is the owner of A.D. Rattray, independent bottler who also owns the Clydeside distillery. But I'm more interested in what his great-grandfather designed. After 3, 2, 1, I love this question. Oh, it's splitting you guys a bit. This is going to be an interesting one. There is a banana skin in there. It doesn't make sense that Tim Morrison, his great-grandfather, could design the building that the distillery is in, but he indeed did. The distillery is part of the old, they had rotundas down there, and they had hydraulic gates, and Tim Morrison's great-grandfather, was involved in the design of the building that the distillery is actually in. What a great story, right?
That's good.
Fantastic. Don't know how your scoring's going right enough, but here we go. Question 5. We're looking at a distillery. There is a wee Dramface icon there. It might help you out a wee bit if you read Dramface. But I'm just asking you, what distillery are we looking at here? Quite striking. Copper-clad ceiling and walls there. Quite a striking entrance. Is it A, Clynelish, B, Glenord, or C, Colilla?
Oh, pants.
It's not pants. Now, we do have the sub-editor for Dramface here.
And I'll probably get it wrong. So it's all good.
Well, you don't edit the news section, buddy, do you? So
no.
Scotty, blink once for Klein Leash, twice for Glen Ord, 3 times for Kalila.
I can't see his eyes. I can't see his eyes.
Yeah.
Trickery.
I just spat my whiskey out there.
And 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I'm just going to guess.
Oh my goodness, it's splitting the room a wee bit. Where actually, despite the kind of Disneyfication, Johnny Walkerification of Klein Leash and Kalila, this is actually all to do with the Singleton.
On the board at
home
last.
of the Singleton. Glen Ord distillery, which is now the brand home, which is cheating. One of the best-selling brands of single malt, but of course it uses Glendullan and Duffton as well as Glen Ord. But that's the new brand home. And if you look at the Dramface news site, there's some amazing pictures there. It does look like a nice spot. I'll reserve judgment until I've been and tried it out. Question 6. In an announcement last week, Port Charlotte will do what? What will Port Charlotte do? Will they offer cheaper 50cl bottles? B, remove boxes and tubes? Or C, return to clear glass bottles? In an announcement last week, Port Charlotte will do which of these things? Offer cheaper 50cl bottles, remove their boxes and tubes, or return to clear glass bottles. Yuri is celebrating a 5 out of 5. Good for you. Marco's on 2 out of 5. I hope you do better on the back 9. Jimmy Legg is scoring 5 out of 5. Mike Molasses on a 5 as well. Fraser Thistle, Arnie Tiger, and Whiskey and Wine Trails on 3 out of 5. Tom Elmer on a 4 out of 5 as well. I think you'll be competing. There's a very knowledgeable crowd you're up against tonight, guys. Don't judge yourself against the lounge. These guys are amazing. Okay, 3, 2, 1. What do we have? Oh, I think everybody's sussed this one out. Yes, they're going after the environmental thing, and Port Charlotte will ditch their boxes and tubes. I think the more distilleries that do that for the core range stuff, so much the better. And the more distilleries that do it for the bling and the obnoxious, big, stupid, hinged magnets, oak, stupid, it's not needed. They become, well, it's just my opinion. It's just ornaments. Anyway, that's what it is. Question 7. Which of these closed Speyside distilleries is theoretically closest to reopening? A, Dallas Dew, B, Caperdonic, or C, Imperial? There is no news of any of these distilleries reopening. Don't consider this the start of a rumour. If it was to happen, which of those would be the most likely? A, Dallas Dew, C, Caperdonic, or C, Imperial?
I'll have a stab in the dark.
I'm shedding a tear for Imperial right here.
Oh, no.
Oh, I meant to that.
Oh, we're both
cross
fans
that out
got
quickly
it.
then.
Donald Pass Whiskey is saving his Bruichladdich metal cans for storing corks. Well, at least they're not getting trashed, right? At least you're finding a use for them, but you can't store every tin can you ever can. I don't think. What's happening now when you buy a whiskey, they take it out the box, they flatten the box, they put it in an air sack, they put the box inside the air sack, and they ship it to you outside of its box anyway. Most of us, or a lot of us, are buying whiskey online. If you go into a shop, they're taking it and putting it into a bag, or you're carrying it. Or do we need how many? Just a show of hands, just a quick show of hands. How many of us need a box?
Nah, get rid of them. Get rid of them.
No need.
Yeah. Get rid of boxes and air sacks.
Straight in the
please.
recycling. Job
And
done.
the air sacks. Wrap them in
Hey 'em.
cardboard. Wrap them in shredded paper.
Yeah.
You know, as long as it's well packed, absolutely. It's working. It's working most of the time. Gordon Fraser, no box. Andrew Butler is saying, I use boxes for stacking. Well, at least you're not trashing them, Andrew. Absolutely. After 3, guys, 2, 1. What do we have? Oh, absolutely. You're getting this right. A, Dallas Dew.
Yeah.
Imperial is no more. Dalmonic is sitting on top of where Imperial used to be, so that's not got a chance of coming back. It is back, but it's called Dalmonic now. It's a completely different building, completely different setup. And Caperdonic is now part of Forsyths, the stillmakers and coppersmiths up there. Dallas Dew is still very functioning with everything in place as a museum. So theoretically, and there was a 2013 feasibility study that they put out to see how much cost would be involved in bringing it back on stream. Why has that not happened? There must be some legal ramifications in the way. It's nice to have a museum, sure, but is it not nicer to have a working museum? Yeah. Question 8. What happened at Glengarry? This is a difficult quiz tonight, guys. What happened at Glengarry in 2021? Last year. A, they changed to direct fired wash still. B, they removed a pair of old stills. Or C, they commissioned new floor maltings. What happened in 2021 at Glengarry? There should be a banana skin in here. Graham Fraser is enjoying 7 out of 7. Well done, Graham. Fantastic. 7 out of 7 for Jimmy Legg. He's killing it. Molasses is 7 out of 7 as well. Mike, tremendous. Tim Hoekstra, Sugar Kitty, Pedro Menezes, all on 7s. 6s for Jens Roger Christofferson, Dorpass Whiskey, Nicholas, Too Slow Rob, Thomas Elmer, all on 6. Fantastic. And Whiskey with Molly, Ben and Andrew Butler, also on 7 out of 7. Tremendous stuff. 3, 2, 1. How are we doing? Oh, nice. Andy at Maltbox, Julie Hamilton. I'm trying to see a nice.
No.
Amazingly, they changed to a direct fired wash still.
My goodness.
We all know about them putting back their floor maltings in. It's not done yet. It might be happening right now as we speak, but already they ditched an old superfluous third still that they had. And they swapped out their wash still for direct fired. This is Glengarry going back to its roots. This is going to be super interesting.
There was so much confidence in the chat and so many people reeling now. I followed the chat. I shouldn't have.
Me too.
What did they go for?
See.
They all went for the floor maltings. They all went for there should have been a banana skin in this one, I think.
This is a brutal quiz.
Yeah. Sorry, Rob. Your first quiz as well, buddy.
Baptism with fire.
Now the questions get hard.
Now they
get the next. Oh. Need to get the next
Question 9. Curiously, which of these Highland distilleries has 3 stills? A. Auchentoshan, B. Glengoyne, C. Glenglassaugh. Curiously, which of these Highland distilleries has 3 stills?
Oh, that's a dirty question.
I'm going to get this one wrong.
Don't be so confident. Don't be so confident, Andy.
Standard.
Fantastic. This is good fun. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. We have CB. Oh, it's all over the place. Are there any A's in there? Looks like it's all over the place. So clues in the question a wee bit with this one. Which of these Highland distilleries has 3 stills? Auchentoshan is a lowland distillery. That leaves you with a 50-50. Glenglassaugh has a pair of stills. Glengoyne, interestingly, has 3 stills. Oh, Scott was either celebrating or he's raging. I can't tell because you're
absolutely raging.
Raging.
Is there going to be a bonus 11th question so I can try and get a pass mark at least?
Oh, you on a 3 out of 10, buddy?
That's long for me.
I think the ass hat is not going to help you. We've got an ass hat question at the end. Of course, we have. Let's see how the lounge is doing. I think by the tone of the room I'm sitting with here, the lounge is going to be doing a wee bit better, I think. Pedro Menezes on 8, fantastic. Lassie, Thomas, and Al are all on 7. Falsgraf are joining Pedro as well as Tim Hoekstra. Elswood on 8, fantastic guys. Another 3 7s from Jens. These are all scoring high. Jens, Roger Christofferson, Too Slow, Nicholas. are all scoring high. We've got Sugar Kitty on a 9 out of 10, 9 out of 9. Any other 9 out of 9s? Andrew Butler on 9 out of 9. Graham Young on 9 out of 9. All sitting there looking for their 10 out of 10. This is a knowledgeable crowd, guys. Honestly, I can't compete with these guys. I've never had a 10 out of 10 on anybody's quiz. Asshat at the end. When Glenkinchie was founded, there were approximately 115 lowland distilleries. In 2000, there were only 2. But how many are there today?
Do you
Now,
mean
you think you might have a rough chance of guessing this, but it's an asshat question. Of course it is. So, is it about the same as the capacity of Roselle in litres per million per annum? So let's imagine the capacity of Roselle is 10 million litres per annum. It isn't, but then I'm looking for 10 as being about the same number there. B, about the same as the number of operating Diageo malt distilleries in Scotland. Or C, about the same as years of operation for Kilchoman. How many lowland distilleries do we have? That's the point of this question. The asshat side of it is me coming up with this nonsense in order for you to try and work out what it is. So not only do you need to know roughly how many lowland distilleries they are, you also need to know the capacity of Roselle. You also need to know how many Diageo distilleries are still operating, and you also need to know how many years Kilchoman has been on the go. This is the point of an asshat.
Just a stab in the dark.
Excellent. After 3, 2, 1. Oh, good. Good. I have to say, the majority of you have gone for about the same years as Operation for Kilchoman. And you're right. You're right. Kilchoman's been going for 17 years, more or less, and there's about 18 lowland distilleries right now. If we look at the capacity of Roselle, we're kind of at about 12 to 13 theoretical top end if it's running all the time. And the number of operating Diageo distilleries used to be 28, but with the opening of Brora, it's now up to 29. So it was question C I was looking for. Did anyone manage a 10 out of 10?
You're not going to believe it.
I don't believe
Andy,
it.
you got a 10 out of 10. Oh!
No. Boo, boo.
I even wrote WTF at the bottom because I can't believe it.
That's amazing, mate. Amazing.
Oh, terrific.
Well done.
I have to say, you were so quiet. I thought there's no way any of these guys have scored a 10 out of 10 tonight. And yet,
It's because I was Dramface hat trick.
Yeah, sorry?
A Dramface hat trick.
Oh, it is. It is. It's a Dramface hat trick, but it's by a YouTuber ringer, so he might not be popular.
Next
I'm deleting the YouTube.
You're coming on
Don't worry.
this team. All right. Next time you're on this team.
Defective.
No, normally, mate, it's any other day. It's a hindrance. I can assure you.
Well, it was Ben last time, Andy, it's you this time, so the next time means it must be me that'll win.
It's your turn, James. It's your turn. It's your turn. Falscrap is saying, I'm an ass and I wear a hat. 9 out of 10. Terrific, Falscrap. Absolutely. And your icon even shows that very same hat. 9 out of 10 for Pedro Jimenez, celebrating his best score to date. Congratulations, Pedro. Andrew Butler, 10 out of 10. Hellswood, 9 out of 10. Tim Hawkshaw, 9 out of 10. Andrew, another 10 out of 10, buddy. Well done. Any other 10 out of 10s? Had Graham Young slipped up on the ass hat? I only got a 9 out of 10. Sorry. Graham Fraser, it looks like he might have as well on a 9 out of 10 too. So it's Helen and Andy got a 9 out of 10. She's saying she's very happy with that. Well done. Terrific stuff. So there were a couple of 10 out of 10s. Tommy Elmer is saying, well done to all the 10 out of 10s. Take a bow. Too slow. Great time, everybody. Thanks, as Rob is saying, and Alice saying, it's all Andy in the tash. Terrific stuff.
Power.
Danny Hebbington is celebrating Alistair McPhail's 10 out of 10 as well. Wow, it looks like Alistair. He did. He's celebrating with the emoji. His second ever 10 out of 10. Fantastic. Terrific stuff. Listen, guys, I don't think we've proven anything tonight, but I hope we had a wee bit of fun. The point of everything is that despite all the crazy that's happening in whiskey right now, the prices, the FOMO, the queuing up outside distilleries, the queuing up outside shops, the fighting, the auctions, there's millions and millions of good whiskey. Some of the whiskies I shared with you tonight are brand new from south of the border and right up north. The other whiskies from Speyburn and Indy from Manickmore, these are available, and they're all you have to do is be part of this community to work out where the value is.
Yep.
And I don't know which one I'm missing out tonight. Of course, Thompson Brothers bringing us a whole new category, putting investment into that category that I think is one of the most exciting that there is in malt whiskey right now, and that's blended malts.
And for £35 a bottle.
Absolutely.
£35 a bottle.
That's that round, Rob.
Yeah, dude. Me and Joe have been chatting away in the background, keeping ourselves occupied.
Yeah,
like,
we're
ignoring.
not going to touch this. We'll not listen to anything they say, and we'll not know what these blinds are. Whenever we get the ball,
We're going to smash this blind.
Listen, I tell you what, guys. I tell you what. I apologise for letting the cat out of the bag. I realise that you've probably been Secret Squirrel all that time, and you've just heard some of the things being mentioned. I still challenge you to do well in this blind challenge, despite what I've just shared. Am I right?
We'll do it pre-recorded.
Right.
It was fun. It was fun though, right? It was good to sit and do it. It was good to taste these whiskies, and it was good. I mean, I think some of you have even purchased whiskies on the back of this tonight, right?
I've just bought a bottle. Yep.
What did you buy,
Glenwivis.
Yeah, the red. What a dram.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Glenwivis.
I just said it at the bag. Sorry, guys. Ignore that.
Oh, it's an delete.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
you can still have fun with this, guys. You're still going to have. Yeah. No,
Thanks
it's
to
delete.
Scotty.
It's broken. It's ruined. Listen, I'm gonna drop in. If anybody's able to stay just for me to raise a glass after the credits roll, please do that. But honestly, from my heart, not just for tonight being the season finale and all that nonsense, but just anytime I reach out to you, I don't know. I love you for it. Thank you for trusting in me. Thank you for stepping forward. Thank you for bringing smiles and fun and humility. And thank you for encouraging everybody to have fun with whiskey and not panic about it. Thank you to you all. I don't even know what I'm raising a glass. What's what I've got the most, and they're all empty. I'm going to be in a mess in the morning. I've got most of this one left. I'll raise this glass to you all, to Team Dramface, to WhiskyTube. By the way, I just need to mention, they don't represent all of Team Dramface, just a wee amount. They don't represent all of Team YouTube. There's millions of YouTube channels out there. It's just a wee segment of it. But they stepped forward tonight, and I hope we had a lot of fun with it. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your smiles and your fun. Thank you so much. Cheers to you all.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, all.
Cheers.
You're very, very brave folk. Scotty Monroe, you're different class. Thank you, buddy. All the best. I'll speak to you soon. Please stay if you can. Vin, always a star. You've been a pal now for a lot of years. I love you for it, buddy. Thank you. See you again soon.
Cheers.
Stay if you can. Ben, Whiskey Geek, you're going to come back on and you're going to be kicking out the park again in the future. Your aggregate is still very high. Thanks again for your trust, buddy, and thanks for participating tonight. Hang about for a wee bit if you can. Julie Hamilton, I can't wait to be at another wee club night where the two of us can sit and talk a lot of nonsense about whiskey again. It's not going to be in the next few weeks because I'm away and I've missed the last couple. I missed a smashing Ardnamurchan night as well.
I know, me too, mate. Yep.
But we'll get over a glass again soon, and there'll be
We will.
lots to talk about and share. And I'm sure we'll hear all about your travels all over the globe as well. Thanks, Julie. Thanks for everything. Smashing. Hey, Julie. It's not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time. You're the only lassie in the room, right?
I know, that's all right. That's keeping up the side though.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Ben, I hope you enjoyed your debut, buddy. I hope it's not the last time you come on. I hope you found it a lot of fun. If anybody's looking to connect with Ben, you'll find Ben on YouTube under the Whiskey Diary. Would you do it again, Ben?
I loved it, /hated it, /loved it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I've loved it. Thank you so much for having me.
That's what we're looking for, buddy. I'm glad to have had you on. And I wish you all the best with the channel. Keep it up, buddy. It's good stuff. Thank
Cheers,
you,
bud.
Ben.
Thank you.
Hang around, buddy. Andy, thank you so much. As always, looking spiffing tonight as well. And I look forward to reaching out to you at ridiculously short notice the next time again. And you just saying, yeah, I'm up for it, as you always do. I love the humility, buddy. I love the content. I love the opinion. Please keep it up. It's important. Andy,
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, buddy. And finally, the two guys that never got your samples. It's going to be my fault. I know that Northern Ireland involves boats and ferries and things. I don't know what's happened with the Yorkshire thing. I don't know why you didn't get it, Rob.
It's the heat. We're not built for heat. This
Yeah,
boats, man, just splayed out on the pavement.
It may be or like you say, maybe the postie has got a love for samples like you do, Rob, and he's squirreled them away. Listen, guys, thank you for joining us and staying up a wee bit late and coming on for the games at the end. Hopefully we didn't completely spoil it for you. But thank you. And next time I want to involve you again. We just need to make sure there's much more time and much more shipping time involved. Jim Ingram,
Cheers,
you're a star, son. Thank you for everything you're doing on YouTube. Keep bringing it. I look forward to the next Monday. Your Monday night malt samples tends to be a Tuesday morning lazy lying in my bed thing for me, but that's just the way it is. And I like the cadence and I like the way you just hang out. I like to hear you laugh as well. Thanks, Jim. Thanks very much. Until next time.
Cheers, man.
Rob, thank you for tonight and thank you for everything. Thank you for helping me and the team build Dramface to make it what it is. Thank you, buddy.
It's a team effort.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
No, my pleasure.
Now, I need to get to my bed. I need to sleep. I need to get up early and get on that flight and get to the beach. Erwin Laranaga saying, enjoy your holiday. It's been a great year. See you when you return. Cheers, mate. Thank you so much, Erwin. Whiskey with Molly Bennett saying, have a great holiday, Roy. Thank you so much. And Justin Wanna saying, enjoy your break. Your content has been taking over my podcast consumption. Looking forward to taking part in another live vPub again soon. Justin, it was wonderful to have you in here live tonight. Jeff Whiskey, you star. Another YouTuber out there, Jeff Whiskey as well. Have a look at his content too. Jeff, I'm just about to read out your comment and it jumps. I don't know how to avoid that. As soon as you touch the mouse, it jumps. But Jeff, it's wonderful to welcome you in here. Just about 20 minutes late, Roy Falsgraf is reminding me. All good. Have a nice holiday. Thanks very much, buddy. Alistair McFrey is saying my 10 is my second highest score. I'm still smug about my 11 out of 11 on last year's Menno end of year quiz. That's right. It was terrific. And Donner Pass Whiskey Tim is saying my 110 out of 10 was when Vin did the quiz. Vin did the quiz years ago. Thanks, Vin. Okay. And Sugar Kitty is saying 10 out of 10 here as well. Sugar Kitty, congratulations. Another 10 out of 10. I thought it was a tricky quiz and it turns out maybe not so much. Jimmy Jazz is saying have a great vacation. Hoping our paths might cross. Here is a few quid for the sunscreen fund. Thanks for noticing how much I need it, Jimmy. Thanks to you, buddy, for the generous dram. Cheers. It has been wonderful again. This season, these last few months, whatever you want to call it, however you want you to refer to it, it means a lot to me just to get together with all of you on a Thursday night and just talk about something that I love. I'll continue to pinch myself. And over the course of the summer, I'm going to think about things and work. I don't think I need to change too much, but I'll think about how to bring you content, what kind of guests you're going to want, what kind of topics that we want to study. But more than anything, I'm going to keep switching it up and mixing it up. I'm enjoying it. And Al is celebrating being a member for 19 months, saying, thanks, Roy. Have a great holiday. And Jeff is saying, thanks, Aquaviti and Sugar Kitty. Looks like Sugar Kitty has dropped in Jeff's YouTube link as well. I bet you he also dropped in the link for Ben Whiskey Diary's YouTube channel too. Thank you to you all. It means a hell of a lot to me. I've got hardly any whiskey left, but I've got enough to raise a glass and to say until the end of August, I hope you all enjoy your summer. I'm very much looking forward to being back here at the end of August again. And until then, I'll raise this glass and say thank you. You're all very dearly loved. Slàinte. Enjoy your summer, whiskey folk, and dedicated barflies. Slàinte.